I simply asked, I said, I wish I could have that dry bacon. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
Hi, everybody. Happy Monday evening. I hope everybody had a wonderful day yesterday. And any of you who are dads in the chat or watching, whether it's live now or on the replay, I hope you guys had a really good day. Or if you're somebody who was just celebrating with a dad yesterday, I hope you guys had a lot of fun and that you had some wonderful memories made and that you look forward to making many more. And somebody who certainly was making memories yesterday with an open letter to Johnny Vegas was our not so good friend hitting an all-time low. Yes, the great Sarasota Tim, Mr. Timothy Baker. And I need to think of a poll while we start playing him. So yeah, if you do not know me, my name is Ray, otherwise known as Life and Vibe. Most of my audience already knows me. YouTube does not push me up the algorithm at all because I have a very low trust score on the platform. They think I'm a terrible actor on here because Sarasota Tim falsely struck my commentary channel 10 times over the space of 1 year. And so he's just a really all-around great person. And so with that said, I will be taking him to court. As we know, we're already in court. We're already going to trial. Somebody left a comment today and said, oh my goodness, I didn't see you in the civic court docket. And I was like, because we're not in the civic court. It's general district. So I'm not surprised you didn't find me. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing great. Hi, everyone. Hi. Oh, yeah, Eric came in first. Hey, Eric. I wonder who we stole that from. You're just pleased these hater creators aren't letting up. Oh, no. I yesterday respected it was Father's Day and felt that obviously a lot of people were busy. I know a lot of people probably saw Tim's video. I also worked, and I know we'd had a kind of late live stream the night before. So I was definitely tired last night, so decided to just take it easy. But I did feel I did need to come out here and the community create an open letter to Sarasota Tim in regards to just this entire video. We're not going to be out too late tonight. He did some really bad Crushing It for Christ videos. He did go down on his subscriber counts. I know a number of channels have been obviously looking at the fact that his sub count went down from 67.2 or 200 down to 67.1. I think it was like 67,199. So it just fell. But he obviously has not been able to somehow regain it. I don't know if YouTube is clearing house or, he had I'm surprised because he actually had a lot more views than usual. And he said that he got a lot of generous coffee donations. And so I was like, well, he obviously, Tim's just a malignant narcissist who doesn't mind a little bit of rage bait. And that actually was one of the things that I did want to start out with tonight, is I did want to share very quickly this article that I had taken a look at that went over some of the things about, it was from Psychology Today, and it kind of went over how we could take a look at, obviously, the malignant narcissism of Sarasota Tim. At least, like I said, I don't treat, I do not diagnose anybody, but I found some of these points that they brought up in this piece quite interesting. So I'll share this tab real quick, just because I thought we should, start out, with a framework around maybe some of the characteristics of somebody who is displaying potentially signs of, malignant narcissistic personality disorder. I do not treat or diagnose Sarasota, as we know. Even though I am a registered nurse here in the United States, and I have studied psychiatric mental health to try to become a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. So I've studied to a pretty advanced level. But like I said, obviously I've never given him a physical assessment. I do not want to give him one. But I do know there are a number of other mental health professionals here. And we kind of the narcissism was definitely there. Whether or not, it was crossing in things that showed antisocial personality disorder, were up for definite debate. And I think in this open letter to Johnny Vegas, it's so bad. I don't know. Drop me on one in the chat if you also thoughts. I should get a poll. Was Sarasota Tim's letter bad? I mean, the polls would just be out of control at the moment. I don't think I could get a good 50-50 poll like I used to. I think his behaviors were so reprehensible in this video that we're about to comment on that it's hard to say. I'm going to make sure I drop the link for this. Okay. I'm not going to read through this entire article. It was pretty long. If you are interested, I will. It's a 2017 article from Psychology Today called How to Deal. You are dealing with a malignant narcissist. So what it is, just to kind of get a backdrop, you have obviously narcissistic personality disorders, and they kind of run through the symptoms. And they talk a little bit about cluster B personality disorders, which are how they are often classified within what is known as the DSM-5. The one that I often refer to is the one with the text revisions, which have the most current. These are also housed within these particular cluster Bs. You'll have your borderline personality disorders, your narcissistic, your histrionics, and your antisocial. So they all kind of go in together. And it's not unusual for different disorders to overlay on top of one another. And so that's not, rather than someone being purely borderline or purely this or purely that, especially when it comes to these sorts of cluster Bs, for them to kind of overlap and have overlapping pathologies is not unusual. So they are different, but that doesn't mean for what it is for the traits of what is known as a malignant narcissist. And many psychologists and psychiatrists will attest the personality profile of patients does not always fit into a nice little box. There can be traits of other personality disorders that accompany the main condition. Take, for example, the combination of narcissistic and antisocial personality in describing malignant narcissism. And so this article kind of goes and talks about this. Now, I just wanted to kind of go, I'm not going to read all this. So you have your grandiose and your vulnerable narcissist, and it kind of goes through this. And then it just kind of wants to go through what is now being more highlighted as malignant narcissist. But it came from Eric Fromm out in 1964. Okay, now I think there's a part where they actually just kind of list their traits. Hold on, that's easier to see. Okay. This is what the part I wanted to see. Here we are. Oh, goodness. Okay. So the darker side of the narcissistic personality disorder, where aggression, antisocial behaviors, and suspiciousness are as prominent as their poor sense of self, fragility, and egocentricity. I think a lot of the reason why Tim brags about the camper, other than trying to write it off as his taxes, is he is deeply insecure. So I'm not checking up with the chat a lot. And I promise we're going to make this part quick, but I just felt this was interesting because it really highlights kind of where he was at this video. A person with malignant narcissism has the potential to destroy families, communities, nations, and work environments. This condition reflects a hybrid of blending of narcissistic and antisocial personality disorders. And they kind of talk, okay, so why is this so dangerous? Individuals with this profile can form connections with others. However, they process information in ways that can hurt society in general, but also people who love or depend on them. We know that Tim's been through 3 marriages with 3 kids, young, very young, left behind, and other things I cannot disclose, but give me that he was not necessarily the best partner. Family, co-workers, employees, and others in their lives often have to walk on eggshells to appease a fragile ego and minimize the I have a list, the occurrences of their unstable, impulsive, or aggressive behaviors. And I mean, we have seen Tim be very impulsive with his spending. I mean, very cheap when it comes to like supermarket things. And then, like, when he was allowed to film in Walmart, and he would be in there like comparing the price of Drano. And now he is then spend $9,000 on a dirt bike that he never really rode. So it's just like it's impulsivity. And at the moment, I always feel like he's getting extremely impulsive with his behaviors. Like he put out 7 videos today, aggressive behaviors. We've heard from others that Tim can be very aggressive when he's not getting his way, and it's very quick to come on. And all right, they lash out or humiliate others for infractions. And this is what he's doing in this video. He's lashing out and he's trying to humiliate JJ specifically, lashing out at JJ and kind of trying to humiliate Johnny Vegas in contacting him. The way he talks to him in this video at a level of, thinking that they have a connection that is not there. They did not know each other for that length of time. Obviously, Johnny had a very short relationship with Tim, and it was compounded by the fact that Tim went off with something that was lent to him and has refused to return them. I mean, the fact that they were lent to him for the time that he needed him for them out west is fine. But that period of loan has long come to an end. And the fact that he doubles down not to return them, I think is just even, the rationale that he uses is just a logic that most people would not use. And it's like he's too proud and, sort of like boastful in some ways. That means that he's never going to want to back down and return them. It's wild. Anyway, so they lash out or humiliate others for infractions of even the most frivolous nature. For example, you gave an opinion that differed from theirs, and this is what we've heard. You demonstrated confidence and it made them look bad. You told a joke that involved poking fun at them. And you've seen sometimes like Tim get like a dark face when he feels that like others are getting like funnier or getting more attention. We've seen that at Teddy and Jolene's with some of the other guys that have been there who are a little bit more funny than Tim. For some, their grandiosity and protection of their fragile true self can be sorry, I'm tired today, guys. Can be at such extreme levels that they will lie and give the impression that simply because they say it, that makes it a reality. And I don't know if that describes Tim to a T, not to use a golf pun, but I think it does. Of course, this can create problems for the people close to them, as this pattern of behavior can easily veer into gaslighting. Malignant narcissism is a blend of two disorders that pose problems interpersonally for their victims: narcissistic and antisocial personality disorders. And Johnny is a victim of Sarasota Tim. As much as Tim wants to flip this narrative around, Johnny Vegas is a victim of Tim. I mean, he took from somebody with a heart transplant coming. It's really sad. It's really bad. It's not uncommon for others to feel anxious, intimidated by, and fearful of people with this condition. The combination of poor empathy. I mean, look, the man's had a heart transplant. Tim refuses to send the golf clubs back. It's the lack of empathy in this entire thing, because Tim would take that as a defeat. Tim would see that as a loss, like a humiliation. Instead of it actually making him Tim doesn't have the adult, the word I'm looking for is like, he doesn't have like that ability to regulate as an adult in order to perform as one. The way that he acts, even though he's a mature looking man and has a mature voice, everything he says it's just so childish. I mean, it really is. His reasoning, his rationale, it's just like it's really bad. It's really badly thought through. Okay. Coupled by aggression, hypersensitivity, and suspiciousness can bring pain to others. Those who interact with malignant narcissists often consider them jealous, petty, thin-skinned, punitive, hateful, cunning, and angry. Given their shallowness, which Tim we know is super shallow. I mean, come on, look at the clothing and how he's all worried about the exterior with nothing happening in the interior of his character. They are not regulated emotionally and have beliefs that swing from one extreme to the next. And he's talked about going from that neotech, and we've seen him go from the carnivore to the religion to the this to the that. He's really got no stability in his thoughts. I mean, it's fascinating for somebody who's interested in psychopathies and psychiatry to kind of watch him put this all out on video. And a lot of people want to criticize me, and part of the reason why I do so much watching of him is because I am so fascinated. Okay, I'm just checking the chat and then I'll come back over just to make sure. Hey! Yeah, he says I know. Yeah, I know it is very patronizing. And I'd love to, make sure and I know you guys are, share your thoughts in the comments below. Hey, come on in. Yeah, come on in. Yeah, someone said on another channel they thought, he kept the bag. He did mention buying a second-hand set of clubs off of Marketplace. I mean, that is very possible that he has just kept maybe a couple of the clubs that he liked, maybe sold some. But we all very good at watching Marketplace, so I'm sure Tim knows that. So I don't think he would have done that because he knows we watch everything that goes on Marketplace. And one thing we would have been definitely watching out for is Johnny Vegas's golf clubs. So he would have had to pawn them somewhere. I think that would have been very hard. I think we would have, that's the only sort of chink I see in that argument is that we know, and you definitely know, Debbie, that if it had been listed on Facebook Marketplace, you or Tar Heels or Miss Vicky or somebody would have seen it. I'm terrible. I can't figure out Facebook Marketplace to save my life. Mind you, I'm not ever looking too much to, stuff I buy isn't probably on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, you never saw the clubs. Yeah. So I'm trying to think where else could he have sold them. I don't think eBay is like really the place. He might have pawned them. Yeah, Jay said he'd done it before with his own. Well, see, that could be the possibility that they're more like, that's why I said they're more likely to be somewhere where we couldn't have, caught him doing. Oh, Tim has some real, I mean, it's just for somebody who just wants to say that, you'll hear it in the video. Let me finish this piece. It's just, I feel like this article, and like I said, I'll make sure to link it in the description box below, really does give a really good summary of this type of personality. And when I was reading it, not that, psychology, but I've been reading more additional articles as well. And there's been a lot more around it in 22, 24, some interesting peer-reviewed journal articles on it. No treatment, like they are absolutely, there's like nothing we can do. It's so bad. Like psychiatry is like, and the treatment for it is nothing pretty much. Like they are not going to do anything in treatment. It's like there's nothing. Okay, let me finish it up. Their decisions can hurt others because they rank relationships and people based on superficial standards and categories. Oh, who does that sound like? They want to land on top. And I think this open letter to Johnny Vegas is Tim still attempting to land on top by keeping the golf clubs. I think he feels that's the victory, that's the prize. And having to concede and return them to Johnny Vegas is a defeat in Tim's mind and a defeat to his community, that he would, fall to the hater community because he's in his paranoia, his suspiciousness. Because remember, that's part of this sort of one of the traits of this disorder, that he, thinks that Johnny has been set up by JJ to, with a script to put this out, that it's not really Johnny. And I don't know how much Tim really believes that, but in some ways I almost think he does. Like, I almost think he really thinks JJ is behind my court case, which is absolutely not true. I know JJ's behind me winning the court case, but he's not behind me as far as any of the legal aspects. Tim is so wild, but this land on top, I was like, even when pretending to be altruistic, which this thing, like, he's acting like he's doing Johnny a favor by keeping these golf clubs. I mean, I'm telling you, when you watch this video along and we, do the react in a moment, because we're about to finish this article, you're going to see so much of these things that it highlighted in this video, like, perfectly. Hey, Mary Carl. Mary Carl says, trust me, I've dealt with a few of these monsters in my life. And the only treatment that works is to get away from these people and stay away. Yeah. It's like, even like therapist, psychiatrist, it's like, I mean, it's fascinating to watch them as much as you can with Sarasota Tim, because you're probably not going to see them. You definitely won't see them trying to get therapy. They'll show up and act like a charlatan in a church. Remember that Timmy is better than the preacher, for gosh sake. I mean, he's actually then following this tripe out with a video. He's crushing it for Christ. It's just like, whoa, how unhinged can this man become? People want to know, why do I make commentary about this? Because it's just, he's putting it all out there. Is talking gaslighting. Oh yeah, it is. We're about to watch it too. Yeah, we're about to watch it. I just wanted to set the scene with this article real quick. Because the land on top, I was like, oh, this is just to the T. And the altruism and all that. And engaging in an activity that should not be all about them. Whatever. They often view the world through a primitive binary lens, which I thought, this is awesome. For example, winner, loser, smart, dumb, rich, poor, pretty, ugly, black and white, all while sustaining the belief that they are superior. This is likely associated with problems processing emotional information, which reflects faulty neurobiology. And then it just kind of goes on a little bit more. They found that grandiosity was a significant discriminator between antisocial and narcissistic personality. Specifically, individuals with narcissistic personality tended to be boastful, arrogant, and grandiose regarding their abilities and achievements. Although they determined that both groups, with the antisocial and the narcissistic, exploit others, and exploitation was more apt to be the goal of those with antisocial personality. And then obviously it's about how all of these things go across a continuum. And, as I discussed before, nothing is going to fall neatly into a little box. Everything with mental disorders and personality disorders, all go across one another and across the spectrum and so forth. So, and so obviously it's just kind of fascinating to kind of watch this video now and thinking this exploitation, which I feel that he definitely tried to exploit his situation with Johnny Vegas, however he interpreted the lending of these golf clubs. I've spoken again to Johnny Vegas, and he wants his golf clubs back. That's pretty much it. I spoke to him personally over the phone to wish him happy Father's Day. And, obviously I'm not recording our conversations, but I know that Johnny's been here in my chat, and I know that he would, sorry, let me share that screen. Why did that happen? I was supposed to share this. That wasn't supposed to happen. It wasn't supposed to make me big. And that he would, also back up the fact, again, as he had in the video, it's not, Jay holding him hostage or any of the things that Tim is trying to say. And he wants his golf clubs back. It's plain and simple. If he had the ability to travel to Florida and didn't have a health condition, he would come to Florida and get his golf clubs back. He just isn't able to travel. And so taking and exploiting the situation of somebody who has vulnerable health, I think it's about the lowest parasitic thing that a human being can do. I think it's just awful. I just don't know how this cheesy SOB can get out here and smile and think he's in the right, other than the fact he's a malignant narcissist. There's no other way that a rational, normal, empathetic human being would behave in this manner. And then there were and I know Miss Vicky had a video out today and she felt the exact same way. It's just, how does he have a community that buys this garbage from him? Other than, there's just these, some sort of something that happens on YouTube. And I don't know if it's just a phenomenon that needs to be researched in this sort of, modern age of streaming and, people having them be kind of like the main characters, like Tim likes to be on YouTube, and having community and someone thinking they're famous or whatever. And then obviously folks like me coming along like, well, no, this guy kind of like took off with somebody's golf clubs and he's really not a good person and he's done some really awful things. And, why are we, he's taking money from the taxpayers potentially illegally. And we're just like, I'm just like, why are we supporting these types of people? I mean, his whole life. I mean, some of the things I've heard in the background are shocking. I'm just going to say, I can't say them. I literally can't say them. But I've heard, through the grapevine and, people have known him. It's not good. It's not pretty. And we have had times where we have suspected that, Tim is still drinking. I'm sure last night after he finished his whatever on this and burnt out those burgers, we didn't hear from him for the rest of the Father's Day. It wasn't like he was getting a dinner over at the Longhorn Steakhouse. Tim was probably getting, the only sauce that Tim was getting was probably one from a bottle. And I'm not talking like the A1 sauce for the steak. I'm talking like the whiskey type or whatever his beverage, wine, whatever his beverage of choice is. Because something's putting weight on his abdomen. Either eating for Florida or he's started drinking again. In my opinion, allegedly. All right, guys. Let me put my, I want a sip of my tea before it gets cold. You can see me going for it. Okay. Let me put my fair use out just to make sure that I can satisfy. Oh my gosh. That's a delicious tea. I don't know what you're drinking. I'm drinking Earl Grey tonight. And I find it ironic people want to say I'm a drunk when I'm not the person posting videos that are sideways on the platform. Timmy tried to focus on the cost of the clubs that Johnny Vegas had multiple. I know. I mean, that really, yeah. Okay, Tim. Yeah. Okay. So, and it's just like, all of that was like, none of those are actually, good reasons to keep somebody's property. And I don't know if that would actually hold up in a court of law. I think somebody going across state lines with somebody's property worth over $2,500 could be more problematic than Tim's. And this is the thing. Tim does stuff like this, and he tries to pick marks, and he picks people who are vulnerable, who he believes cannot really stand up to him to really get stuff back, And then he comes out with these wild stories. It's like him trying to get out of the court in Virginia Beach, where he just openly lies to the judge in Virginia Beach that he's, travel's going to be really a hardship for him. And he's on a fixed income and just a plethora of lies to what he wants to portray online. So which is it? You're a poor senior on a fixed income who's going to find it really a massive hardship to travel? I mean, the only hardship is you having accountability. That's the only part of the things, Tim, that you find hard. And the fact that you don't understand it, you cannot just strike somebody's content on YouTube and then the person counter notify you and say, hey, no, actually, I'm using your content within fair use. And actually have attorneys explain to you why that is and why, because I'm a registered nurse and why I have a role in being able to kind of make commentary because of my licensure. And the fact that makes it sort of like you shouldn't really strike me. And you had 10 of those and you perjured yourself 10 times, Tim, because you never did the part that you were supposed to do, which was actually get copyright on your material and then take it to the copyright claims board and actually go in for a case. That's what you needed to do. And then you would need to take me into federal court, which could be very expensive and prove all this stuff. And with very little probably getting out of it financially, except you losing money. So really not a lot to be gained unless you're really a massive corporation really protecting your copyright. And in this respect, since I do things under fair use and do education, information, do clips, bring in obviously articles and do other things, you're going to have a really hard time convincing any type of federal judge that I'm not doing it. So it would cost you a lot of money, Tim, and as always, you're too cheap. All right, guys, let's get into this. Let's see how he got ratioed. Open letter to Johnny Vegas. I'm sure he has this monetized because he wouldn't want to lose out the money on this. This is, if you're going to put out an apology or do something where you're trying to show that you're the better person, don't monetize the content. And if you're going to get buy me a coffees or something, either send it to a charity or send the golf clubs back with that money that you were given. Don't just try to gloat and having been vindicated supposedly by whatever trash watches your content with actual genuine enjoyment of it and thinks that you're some stand-up guy that's worth supporting. I mean, I have a right to have an opinion, and I don't usually try to bring somebody's audience into the drama, but the fact that his props him up and thinks that they're kind of at war with us, I guess, when we're just trying to point out this guy really has behaviors that are predatory, especially on the platform, and isn't a cool guy and is shitty to other creators and just, all of it. I mean, he just all of it, man. I'm preaching to the choir out here. I know I am. Hey, come on in. Yes, that left a child with roommate story was probably what happened to Timmy. He just turned it around. Oh, some of his stories actually are true. And then the really good stories are the ones he will not tell. Like the fact that he's going to court or he's not going to show up to court, which I'm okay with. I have no desire to meet Sarasota Tim in person. And it just makes it easier to get the default judgment and get stuff moving through. Because that letter or whatever, that grounds of defense, the judge is going to think that he insulted the judge by sending that thing in. The judge is not going to be happy to see an AI created document. They get very upset with those nowadays. Super angry, man. All right, Tim.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
31 minutes of almost 32. Oh, we got the curtain back up. Thank goodness. Maybe we could do Stu the Raccoon spot back here. All right, Tim. Take it away.
Everybody, Sarasota Tim. Happy Father's Day to anybody that's a father watching this video. Who do I got here texting me? All right. They're all coming in wishing me happy Father's Day. Folks?
No, that was probably just like a text message for some type of shoe brand offering you a Father's Day sale.
This video I'm about to make, I don't know how it's going to come out. I'm shooting from the hip. I'm shooting from the heart is what I should say, because a lot of things in the last 48 hours and for some time now, but especially they've been brought to head. And I thank God has absolutely spoke to me,
Oncology
and he's been speaking to me, and he's been making a big change in my life. Since I've gone through a lot in the last 6 months of my own personal business that some of you know about, some of you don't, and most of you don't even care. No, I'm just kidding. You got your own problems, but we all.
Because I'm trolling Tim as always with the buy me a coffee QR code. I appreciate those who do send them because it does get treats for the pups. I got some really interesting ones that they just love. And I'm always like, as somebody who doesn't eat meat, I'm like, oh my God. But my dogs love it. It's like this beef hoof, like it's like a hoof of a beef, a cow. I'm just like, oh my God. But they like it for the bones. I don't like the raw hides and stuff. And I don't really like the bones. So I think like the hoofs are a little better naturally. Anyway, it's like stuff with some sort of peanut butter stuff. It's cheap. They're from Kroger. But they love those things. That's about the one thing that will keep them busy for any length of time in my house. But it's like, I just like, I hate giving them because it's like a little, anyway, having dogs.
All have issues and situations, and the world can be a tough place. And it can be very confusing. And we can be very misled and pulled around and influenced by the devil. And the devil is real. He is absolutely real.
And see, this is how Tim manages to have no accountability straight out the gate within how many seconds? Minute 15. Trying to say that the reason why other people are asking him to return an item that he took off with is because of the devil. If you've never been into a Southern Baptist church, then you've never heard people talking about, the devil and damnation and hellfire like that. So that sort of talk is like just on par for, Southern Baptist teachings and manipulated by people all the time who are trying to cover their ass, who like to pretend that they're religious. Because Tim, all of this behavior and the fact that you continue to keep the clubs, I mean, even the worst of the shadiest Southern Baptists would at least return the golf clubs. Your way of twisting it in your mind is legendary mental gymnastics. I mean, you should be going for gold at the fucking Olympics. Pardon my French. Do not cuss, Ray. You got some good people in your audience. I'm going to lose people watching me if I cuss. Sorry. Sometimes I get very English, especially when I'm a little bit tired. But it's legendary.
Real. He lives in people. He has spiritual realms. There's things that he does on TV, the phone, TikTok, Facebook. We all know it and believe it. Evil is rampant. Violence, evil. And I don't want to be part of it. My channel is known for positivity. And
that's because you say so, Tim, but we've heard you tell people to shove it in their face when they haven't beeped their horn for thanking you for a cheap cup of coffee or whatever their McDonald's was. You haven't paid it forward in a long time, I've noticed. So considering, I hope now that you supposedly had such a good YouTube payday today, that you're going to be getting some pay it forward videos out there. So you're so grateful.
When you're wronged or when someone maligns you and makes false accusations about you, your natural thing is to defend yourself. I mean, you put in a corner, you should. I mean, it's just something you have to do. It's human nature. And then we have a thing called for forgiveness, where we have been nothing but dirty, rotten scoundrels from the moment we came out squalling.
Oh, gosh. I have family who are Southern Baptists. I think I've mentioned this before. Like deep Southern Baptists. I mean, they actually are practicing Southern Baptists, not like this charlatan over here who probably still gets drunk on the regular, in my opinion, allegedly. Because they won't even go to places where there's alcohol. They've not shown up to family weddings that have had alcohol because of their strict, no alcohol policies as Southern Baptists. They would not watch movies. Like the kids were only allowed to watch like certain Disney movies and like super sanitized ones, and then after a while, I guess probably Disney's even been banned by them. They didn't want them to go to dances. It was almost like, Footloose or whatever that film is, where the kids couldn't dance in town. This was up in like Roanoke, Virginia. And I don't think they attended the church that some point they may have. I know my uncle knew Jerry Falwell Sr. and probably Jr. as well. And my cousins, both of them went to Liberty University, which if anybody knows is probably one of the most Southern Baptist colleges here in Virginia and in the United States. So I had to go to church sometimes with my cousins when I would visit them as a child. And we would go to church twice on a Sunday, not just once, but twice on Sundays. They were always going to church. So I can hear exactly the way that Tim speaks. He's just rolling out that Southern Baptist talk. And they always like to blame everybody else. And Tim is just legendary. Keep going. Keep lying, Tim. Sorry, I'm gonna let him go now. Sorry, I just had to say that. So for any Americans out there, anybody who's interested, this sounds like just, the way he's talking about everyone else being the devil and stuff.
Mama's bellies. And then we came into a sinful world. We became sinners and we've sinned and we've lied and cheated and stole and everything else that the Bible, 10 Commandments says that we've all broken at one point or another in our life. But yet Jesus came to this world through a virgin, God himself in a form of man, to go to a cross, to die and forgive the world, you, me, and everyone else that invites him into their life, forgiveness and a restart. And then he gave us the book called the Bible.
So supposedly, whose forgiveness? I think it's supposed to be Tim forgiving Johnny for telling him to return his property. I think that's who, the forgiving is supposed to be happening. Because Tim is twisted. That's it. He's just twisted.
That was written by men under his inspiration as a rule book of how to live in this world, a fallen world. And you can read it over and over and over, and you can listen to preachers and go to church. And sometimes certain scriptures and certain books will just hit you.
I thought thou shalt not steal. Wasn't that one of the 10 Commandments? Thou shalt not steal. I thought there was literally one that said thou shalt not steal. I know it's not to covet another man's wife or husband or whatever, or another man's property, which you're obviously coveting probably too.
You know why? God is working on you, and God opens your ears and your mind to hear certain things. Now, this video is a reply video and a message video.
And I've also heard thou shalt not cover like your neighbor's property, which kind of could be interpreted to people, for some people, their spouse, in different interpretations. But I want to say maybe in the Church of England, I heard it as property, not just the spouse. I could be wrong. I could be hallucinating from my childhood. But thou shalt not steal. But Tim's ability to follow the 10 Commandments is probably... we need to get a list and see how many he broke. Probably all, except for murder. We don't know about any bodies buried.
To my dear friend and all of our friends, Johnny Vegas.
Oh, for goodness.
This
Tim, Johnny Vegas is no longer friendly with your audience. Especially if they're supporting you and taking his property. So the fact that you're trying to act as though there's some type of relationship since it's been over a year, and actually you just kind of ghosted at him as a side character on your channel with no explanation to your audience until now. It's as always, it's an avoidance of the topic that people are bringing up, because you obviously, it's much easier for you to live in, your toxic positivity world. So your positivity is toxic, Tim.
Crap storm of a internet war that they're trying to have. I made my video. I'm done with it. And I said, case closed. See, case closed. No, Tim, the case is not closed. And we're going to keep talking about it until you return the property. And what are you going to do? You're going to keep going out and making awful videos and roping in some unsuspecting couple into your shenanigans and sticking them on the internet, which is really rude. Because they have no idea that you're being sued for $30,000 at the moment in a malicious business tort case, and you're supposed to be hauling yourself up to Virginia, which I don't care that you're not coming. It doesn't insult me,
because I already know I have jurisdiction over you. And so it's going to make my life easy. So I really don't care. That's to me even more of a victory, because that shows that you're a coward to come to the courtroom. So, what you think is a win, to me, I think is a win, because it shows that you're an absolute coward, because you can't actually face the court of law, because you're a loser. So let's see where he's coming out with the winning and the losing, that black and white, where he talks about like he thinks that there's like a community war just because people mention that Tim has egregious behaviors. And now he thinks it's like, I mean, it's kind of getting that way, I guess. But, Tim, you could have really prevented this more from happening by returning Johnny Vegas's property. And as long as you keep hold of those golf clubs, Tim, we're going to keep reminding you about it. How about them apples? And if you some of your simping, struggling subscribers come into my comment section, I'll leave their comments there, but I'll tell them they're simping for you, a con artist.
Was done with it. And I believe, that I was able to vindicate and exonerate myself, that anybody with any common sense. And I know the facts, and the parties involved know the facts. But I'm not here to rehash that. I'm here to ask for forgiveness and a new start. Where do I begin? I'll tell you where I begin. And now from this moment forward, I'm talking to one person. I'm talking to you, Johnny Vegas. I want to go back in time for just a second and remember positivity.
Well, Johnny needed to clarify, because there are so many misconceptions that happen, that they were only linked to him. He wanted to make sure, because he's told plenty of us. I've been talking about it for over a year now. We had a really good live stream over a year ago where I spoke to Johnny, and I told no, they weren't ever linked. And then we found the videos where Tim had mentioned it, and then he changed it up. And so, sorry, I'm eating Reese's Cups. Dark chocolate. Anyway, it's just carry on, Tim.
Not this thing that they're trying to do. You're being used as a tool for their purposes. And I think you even know it. You're not a dummy by any shakes.
And the fact that he thinks that Johnny is being used by anybody, and this is not Johnny just wanting his property back, is even more delusional from Tim. Johnny has been saying it privately, and the rest of us have been the ones publicly saying it, because he did not want to say it publicly, because he's been in the middle of a heart transplant. But I think he does want to make sure that he wants people in some ways to know publicly the type of actions that you take, Tim, because it's a warning to other people to be careful of you. You've shown yourself to be very discourteous in people's homes. You've shown yourself to obviously be rude to people as far as taking their property without permission. Having it lent to you for a time while you needed it to play some games in Vegas is one thing, Tim. But then to abscond with it and think it's yours forever, that's completely different. That is completely different, Tim. And you really are just despicable. I don't even think is the word. He really is just a piece of work. I mean, it's fascinating. He's really bad. I'm glad I'm taking him to court and suing him. I wish I could garnish the golf clubs.
But you can be, and I have been, used by others for their gain. And that's what's happening right now. And God laid it on my heart. Now, whether this does any good, makes any reconciliation, does anything, which I pray it will, I put it out there. Because here's why. Let me back up. When I met you, it was you. You're the one that did the heavy lifting. You're the one that sought me out. You're the one that came to the Cosmopolitan Casino and wanted to meet me. Thank you very much for doing that, because what we shared together was, a friendship I don't recall having, and I've had some pretty good ones on YouTube with some other people that I've met, but something about you, I don't know what it was. You're a gentle spirit, and you were very friendly, and certainly. And
so I decided to steal your property and not return it when I was asked to. And then I decided to block your number and pretend like it didn't happen and keep your property. because I have to be on top because I'm Sarasota Tim. There's no getting out of this, Tim. No matter how you dress this turd, it's still a fucking turd.
Be very generous and all those other things. I'm not trying to.
Hey, I gotta stop the
you,
F-bombs, but I'm sorry. It's a turd dressed like a turd. It's a turd, Tim. I need that picture of the dog pooping. You know what, Tim? There's one thing I have to say at this point.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You're a good man. You're a very good man. And I made it my point to be a friend of yours and to bring you on the channel. And then when you had health issues, we really got everybody. And hopefully the
You think that people really give two hoots about being on your channel, Tim? Really? Really? He thinks everyone get rich off of you. Never get rich off of you, Tim. I might get a little bit richer just because I'm suing you. But I still have to pay taxes on it unless I structure it properly. So, not like you. I hear that you're not a fan of taxes.
Prayers did work, and apparently they did. You got your new heart. And look, hey, listen, you look excellent, by the way. I have to tell you, you're out there playing golf and walking like you did. I mean, it's a miracle. It really is. And I know you're very appreciative of that. And I'm sure that it was a lot of prayer and clean living that God has blessed you with your current health situation. I know that you said you got some blood work or something that you're working through. You've always had something kind of tagging you, and I know you'll get through it. And
Tim, don't act like you have some type of close relationship with him now and you've been, palling about. You only know this because of what Johnny said in his videos. You really are just trying to can you see the manipulation on this one? Can you? I almost wish I heard this exact type of behavior when he was speaking with the judge over the phone. Judges are used to this type of characters, so he shut Tim down pretty quickly. Once he started really looking at the paperwork and really saw what statutes and Tim was trying to consistently throw me under the bus, just like he talks in these videos about JJ being a bad person. And the other day he wasn't very kind about Johnny, and now he's like flipped the script because people probably even in his own community were like, what the hell? You've taken off with a guy who had a heart transplant. You've just taken off with his property. And now Tim is trying to dress it up, it's just never, you're never going to come out of this looking good, Tim. Even if you return the golf clubs, in some ways, you're so obstinate and just won't return them. And so you're just always going to be known as a thief.
Prayer, and I'm sure others are praying for you. But let's go back to what I want to say. So you sought me out, we became friends, and then every time I came out there, of course, it was a main attraction.
Yeah, of course. This is why he went. You sought me out. You wanted to be my friend. So that makes it mean that you're okay with taking somebody's property? I mean, if this is supposed to be some type of way to show that you genuinely misunderstood and feel bad, and that's what this open letter is about, then that's you know what? I'm gonna grade this an F.
Not just you, but there were some others that I wanted to visit. But we got together, and then when I went to California and stopped and went back through to Cedar City, Utah, we always stopped and had lunch and everything. And you were so generous to buy a lot of times and to take us on tours and show us the.
He really is, Thomas, a dangerous and scary man, which is why we try to somewhat do a public service and warn people, because he's meeting all sorts of people out here. And I think he, especially for any type of female that might get into a relationship, we definitely need to make sure that they don't ever cross paths with this man, because he is definitely dangerous towards women. This hostile misogynist, the way he was with Miss Tammy when she hit her shin and just being an absolute, just god awful to her after. Just no. This is public service now. It's a PSA. Oh,
of which I fell in love with Las Vegas. I mean, I literally could live there. I wasn't worried about turning into a piece of leather in the summer. It's an awesome place. I see myself there. I love the style of everything there. So you're very, very fortunate. You're very. Let me bring you over here. The air conditioning just kicked in. You're very fortunate to have the investments and things that you've done and you're a very successful person. This latest situation that's going on, it was very puerile and immature of.
Okay. Before the puerile and immature one speaks, I love the fact that, his AC kicks on so loud. It's just classic. Oh.
And I'm going to talk about myself now.
Yeah, of course you're going to talk about yourself. That's all you've been talking about for the past 8 minutes. I mean, what other topic do you love more than you?
When we had this situation, I'm not going to go into the details for the audience here, but when we had our situations of what we discussed on the phone, and I, was basically unhappy with some of the things that were going down, and I tried to talk to you about it, and I don't know, you couldn't help yourself. Whatever. I chose to ghost you, to vacate, to not speak with you anymore because of what I deem as betrayal or whatever. Way overblown. Okay? I mean, think about what Christ has done and how he forgives these people that are rotten to the core, including myself. And
why do you bring other people into this, Tim? Why are you doing this publicly? Secondly, it's not going to work. I don't think Johnny's going to call you. That's probably why you've been acting, particularly rampant and putting out 3 golf videos today, because he never phoned you and tried to and had to let him be manipulated by you. So now you just keep doubling down. And it could be right. You could have pawned him off and just has the bag. We don't know. But we know that whatever you did, Tim, it's not good. Not good.
Lately, Johnny, I have always been a believer, raised as a Christian, a Baptist. I know you're Catholic. And we've talked and shared much. As you know, almost every conversation we ever had, God was in the conversation. And so I think that's why God laid this on my heart, that the demons that are out there that are using me and you, especially you right now, as a tool to create more hate in the world and less for forgiveness and less harmony, they're thriving on it. And it's just amazing that they watch my videos and they hear positivity and they hear about God, and it just bounces off of them. It doesn't even cause them to pause for a second to think, you know what, maybe I need to turn from my ways.
Oh, so hearing a message about God from a flim-flam con artist is supposed to make me feel like I'm getting a call from God? I don't think so, Tim.
Confidence trickster, noun British, a person who tricks other people in order to get their money, con artist.
Yeah, not just their money. I mean, they stood there with your holy Bible. Well, kind of to get their money, because this sort of stuff helped Tim get some jingle in his Buy Me a Coffee, which just made his day. The only reason why he did this was to look good in front of his audience. Had nothing to do with Johnny Vegas. This was literally performative for Tim's community. That's it. To show that he's still on top and he's the king of YouTube or whatever. The demons are on the way. I am the most demonic of them all.
That's what happened to me. That's why I'm making this video right now. I was going to let it lie. I figure, look, number one, let's talk about the golf clubs. Okay. One last thing about the golf clubs. If I were to return the golf clubs, as you know, Johnny, you're not going to use them. You didn't use them when you had them. And they're not worth anything if you go to sell them, because I haven't been the best in maintenance and keeping them clean. But they're used golf clubs. They would be worth what anybody would get for them at a yard sale. Okay. And the shipping costs and all that wouldn't even be worth it. And that's not.
I just cannot believe that's what came out of that man's mouth. I'm just still stunned to this day. That's what came out of his mouth. That he literally said the reason why he doesn't think he should return them is he doesn't think the person's going to use them. And so why should he? And I think that's one of the reasons why he took off with them in the first place. Even though he knew they were lent. Whether he got use out of them or not, he felt that's that value producer. Remember that neotech thinking? That he's going to get more use out of it than the person who actually owns the property. And therefore that gives him some sort of right just to kind of take it. That's what's going on in Tim's mind. Let me just kind of go back to that sort of thought there, because it's important to kind of think about what he's actually kind of that whole thing that's neotech. That is absolutely the neotech there. It says that I'm going to read this part out. Let me see if I can get it. It says so he basically thinks to himself, most people would think, he literally like skipped town with, Johnny Vegas's golf clubs. And Tim in his mind is, I executed an symmetrical resource realignment. And that basically what this does is that this particular philosophy will teach its followers that everybody else, any regular person, is a lesser being than they are, which goes to Tim's superiority thing. If a subscriber willingly hands over an asset, the follower believes the owner has essentially forfeited the right to it. And here, he just basically thinks that the literature trains followers that assets naturally belong to whoever can use them to produce power. Because he is crushing it on YouTube, his brain tells him the clubs belong in his trailer, not sitting in a Nevada garage. And the fact that is the reason, that he comes out with that schmarmy. Oh, come on, Johnny. Be reasonable. The hell? I told Johnny, don't even watch this video. So Johnny hasn't watched this, Tim. He's not going to watch your open letter. I just basically told him that the bullshit that it was. I said, don't even bother. I said, it's just Tim trying to cover for Tim. I said, it's atrocious, actually. It's so bad. I said, it's so upsetting. I said, I wouldn't even watch it.
Even it. I would pay, and I would send them back. The only thing is, it's like tic-tac-toe, Johnny. If you send them back, it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. By sending them back, these bad characters that are out there in YouTube will use, just like they're using now, they find a way to hate on everything. It would be, see, he admits he stole them. See, he's a liar. See.
That's not admitting that you stole them. That would be potentially saying, I had a misunderstanding. I, thought you had gifted them. Hearing all of this, I'm just kind of finding out that no, you kind of really want your property back. I didn't take very good care of them. I'm sorry for that. All right, let me return them, and I'm going to give you, $500 because I'm a rich ass YouTuber who makes plenty of money, and let you, get some sort of, compensation for it. That's what people who have money and don't care would do, Tim. Not this gaslighting that you just did to Johnny Vegas. This is gaslighting somebody.
He's a con man. See, and they would drag that for forever now.
You are a con man. And now we get to drag you even further. Great. 52 days till we go to trial, Tim. Well, I go to trial. You're going to be sitting in this hot box in Florida. And I'm going to be winning over $30,000 in judgment against you, which the best part is getting it to YouTube. And so that they can find out that there's a judgment about you using maliciously their copyright third-party system that they tell you that if you do things, it'll be perjury. And then they'll make a decision because they're going to get garnished is whether they want to keep you around. So, because YouTube is the people who get to choose which channels stay. And I know you wanted to make these choices, Tim, that you wanted to be the one that if you didn't like a channel that criticized you, the hater trolls who call you a con artist, well, you're proving me right. And a malignant narcissist. Make sure you hit the likes, guys.
Forevermore about anything I would ever say or do, which is what they do now. This would just be one more thing that they could use, and that's what they want. And that's why they send secret agents into my comment section telling me to just send them back, be the bigger man, and all that. And some people...
There's no secret agents, Tim. People are adults and do whatever they want. Unfortunately, you're not an adult and you're doing whatever you want.
Aren't secret agents. They genuinely feel that that's the thing to do. Send them back to you, even though you gave them to me. re-gift them. I've had every imaginable idea to be the bigger man because they want to see a mending. They saw and seen our videos when I traveled across the country a couple of times, that magic, that excitement. Vegas, baby, Vegas. And
that is cheesy. They see the excitement. Vegas, baby, Vegas. Tim, you just look cheesy. You look cheesy and you look like you're doubling down on your bad behavior. Just like trying to get out of it. I mean, that is just, I can't take it. I'm getting like salesperson vibes from the 1980s. And it doesn't sit well with me. It's spooky, actually. Keep going, Tim. I'm going to have to get some more chocolate for that.
This is something that you can't deny. This is something that we had. And you're not going to have that with these people, this one individual that is using you. All he's doing is using you. And you know that you're not going to get on a plane anytime soon and go visit him. And you know he's not going to do vice versa and come visit you and hang out like a couple of buddies. You know this. And you know your view about the man upstairs and about the man in the White House and about a lot of other things are completely opposite of this person. You know.
What has this got to do with anything, Tim? Are you trying to pit people against one another? Is that why they're there? Jay's just, well, it doesn't matter obviously what their politics are. JJ just is helping Johnny get his property back. They don't care what their politics are. You're just wretched, Tim. You know, people are watching this stuff, but you're getting ratioed. You're going to be known as the old geezer on YouTube who stole a heart transplant patient's clubs. That's really just like nasty. If I wasn't so ratioed or down the algorithm by you, Tim, because of your malicious attacks on my channel, that's another reason I got to get that judgment up to YouTube. So they can take all that like low trust score off of my channel. Because I can't get any traction because of it. And I have a legitimate business too. And I'm warning people about thieves like you on the internet. If it makes you uncomfortable, don't steal people's stuff. How about them apples?
This. You absolutely know this. And what do you have in common with that? You are being used. So I'm here to tell you, Johnny Vegas, that I'm not going to return the clubs because I know you want me to have them because you gave them to me. But I do want, and even though you were coerced, it wasn't something that you...
No, he wants his shit back. Pardon me, guys. I got stuck in the middle of a dark chocolate miniature cup of Reese's. That's not true, Tim.
You did to sabotage this channel by coming on video and
Charlie on Sunday, on Father's Day. I wanted to wish him happy Father's Day. Tell him not to try to get too stressed about all this stuff because of obviously having his blood work being somewhat lower, a little bit more compromised than his doctors want him to be. And when you have anything like that, you don't need stress. And the fact that your sorry ass is stressing him out more by not returning his property just shows what a lowlife you are. And you just want to talk about the haters and this, that, and the other. I'm just, you know what, Tim? You're so just juvenile and you're ridiculous. And I wish I could garnish the clubs as part of my court case because I bloody would. And the reason why I'm suing you is because I have a legitimate business and you tried to shut my YouTube channel down, which is monetized. I also have professional licensure. I don't like you messing with my reputation. You don't have anything. You got no ethics. You got no code of ethics. You got no morals. You got nothing that you stand for. I, on the other hand, have over 12 years in a profession as a nurse and years teaching too. So I've had two professions.
Saying from your own mouth, which would have confused a lot of people that watch this channel and knew the magic, the chemistry that we had in our friendship.
I know.
People would have to cast doubt if I ignored that. So I was put into a corner. And of course, this is what this bad character understands. He's a very witty person like the devil. He is a devil. Absolutely.
Takes one to know one, doesn't it, Tim?
And you know this too, because if you were to forgive and be my friend again, and we were to even play some golf again, What do you think that they're going to do to you? They will turn on you like they turned on me in a drop of a hat. Are you going to be afraid of that? Is that going to intimidate you too? That you don't want that to come onto you? And so you're going to stay with them? Or are you going to find the forgiveness in your heart that you claim to have as a Christian, as I'm asking you for forgiveness, and we can be friends? Because
how can he forgive you if you're not returning? I mean, so now, if he's supposed to forgive you, Tim, that means you stole his stuff. That's not you being confused about something being gifted to you. That's you knowing that you took his item. No, he probably would. He told you he'd forgive you. He just is not going to forget. And he hasn't forgot that you took his property. And neither have any of the other people that you met in Vegas and Nevada, or any of his friends. They haven't forgot either. So you're not particularly welcome in that area, Tim. So that's probably another reason why you will not travel out west, especially out to that area. Because nobody would be happy to see you. So you've kind of burnt a bridge over that way. I wonder how many bridges you've burnt like that throughout your lifetime.
I woke up this morning thinking about you. It's Father's Day. I sent out a few messages to people, and I thought about you.
Hey.
And I thought about, I haven't seen you in a long time. I tried to call you before the surgery, and your friend Dan reached out to me and kept me in the loop and all of that. And, I never heard back. So,
hey, I'm going to give him 30,000 ways on August 13th. 52 days. I'm going to troll him every day. Whether I get content out every day, I don't know. Tomorrow I've got some appointments. I got to do some filming for my brand deal. So I got all my bits and pieces. I'm excited. It's actually kind of fun. It's like a science experiment. So I kind of had a blast. Haven't filmed. I was just practicing.
When they were attacking you, remember? Yeah, I know. And so does that bad character. He had attacks going on him. And then
I really did never attack them, actually. That's actually not true. That was the one thing that I made sure that I did not really do. I actually said they seem like nice people. Because they did. They all seem like nice people. It's probably why they all talk to me. And have had no problem communicating with me, actually. Was because I really didn't say anything like that. Because I don't think that's fair. I actually said you look like with Timmy Appleseed that you were holding him hostage. I said that you didn't seem to be very kind towards JJ, and he seemed to be a nice guy. And I didn't say anything except that you seem skeezy with Johnny Vegas and the golf clubs, and I'd be shocked at anybody gifting. I was like, why would this guy be giving him all this stuff? It just didn't sit like, really? I was just shocked and surprised. Why? Because they weren't gifted. They were just lent to you. You're out here. Trying to make this about the haters because you just don't like criticism. So you've made this black and white, and obviously you've got some really egregious behaviors. And I think this is really coming to light, Tim. God, it's going to be interesting up to the court date. He really likes me. I'm his favorite.
they said, maybe we'll reach out an olive branch to the guy in the Villages, and he was like, oh, thank you. And now he uses the same phrases that I use. He uses the same name for his channel. He puts it on his golf cart. He wants to wear my skin. He's obsessed with me. And he will use and take down.
You must be joking, Tim. JJ has no desire to be living your life. You really think that JJ wants to leave his lovely home with his wife, who he loves deeply, his children, and his dog, Kaylee, or any of it, in order to do anything that you have, Tim? Just because he enjoys doing some guy stuff like shooting guns and stuff doesn't mean that I promise you, the minute if you've probably learned, you treated his wife disrespectfully, which you had, he didn't tolerate that. That was the line in the sand for him with you, Tim. And that's what butt hurts you too. Is you haven't understood that there will be men who would rather put their wives first over some charlatan like you. And the fact that you knew probably if she wasn't well, that they were probably going to cut off the visits at their home. They couldn't have you just showing up to the villages and having you film in their home like that. It's probably making Bev uncomfortable. And you were probably asked to stop doing it. And you probably didn't like that. So you probably then lashed out at Bev in some way by removing comments that were wishing her well wishes for her cancer journey. You're just a little petty, little thin-skinned, malicious troll yourself.
Down anyone and lie through his teeth to you, like he did to me and everyone else, to get attention and to try to, because I know we get butthurt. I get butthurt. And I know you're hurt from, not the golf club thing. We all know what the truth is.
Yeah. There. You think JJ wants to put on that old leathery skin cancer fried to the 9th degree charred skin that you possess, Tim? Nobody wants to be in that. That's a good point. I should have. I was taking it too literally. He's just looking poor in an RV. But yeah, nobody wants that skin either.
You're hurt because you felt about me the same way I felt about you. And you know what? I still feel that way about you. I don't care what I've heard. I know you were coerced into that. I still have very strong feelings for friendship for you.
Johnny was not coerced into anything, Tim. You just said a strong friendship. Really? That's why you blocked his phone number for a year and took his property? Because you got strong friendship feelings? Get them out of here. I don't know who believes this. Well, your echo chamber down below sending you buy me a coffees because they feel so bad for poor Timmy.
I miss that. I really do.
Yeah, you do. You do. You really, Tim? You really do? Well, then why did you not stay the day you were supposed to meet up to play golf to return his property as agreed instead of hightailing it with Miss Tammy? Or whoever was in the car at the time. Maybe it was just you. I think it was the day you just went off and had the Mexican or something. I mean, you just snuck out of town. He's a joke, Tim. You're hilarious.
I think there's a week, too many days to go by. You don't cross my mind. Just wondering. Yeah, and I have to say, I want to repeat one more time. No, you look marvelous. You really do, man. Glad you're out there on the course and made me want to be out there with you. And even your coerced script that you were given, and I know it was,
I would agree with.
Was articulate.
Oh, Jordan.
And but a lot of it was, of course, very false about those other characters. I mean, come on, we've talked. But Johnny,
I mean, this is what's so immature. I mean, he's just we've talked about JJ. You and I know both that so he's trying to put a wrench between JJ and Johnny in some way by saying, we've trash talked, JJ, you and I. So why would you want to be with the person we trash talked? And obviously to put suspicion into JJ's mind that Johnny's not a good person either, not to be trusted. This is the way Tim always plays people. It's just awful. He really is. This is about the worst thing I think I've ever heard. The fact that he posted this, and it would never come down. And Tim just happy because he sees the views for once. And it's absolutely monetized. So, Tim's just making money off of it. That's all he care about. And he feel whatever because his view counts are better. He's winning. And the only reason why is because he's smothered everybody else's algorithm with false copyright strikes. And for some people, if they didn't counter notify, and even if they have, it just kind of changes YouTube's trust score. They think you are the bad actor, even if it's just commentary. This is where commentary gets into a lot of trouble with these types of guys. That's why you have to turn around and take them to court and say, no, you can't do that. And you actually have to take them and, explain to them with a lawsuit and take them to trial. And if they don't show up, oh, well, $30,000.
It would be a miracle. And I think God's going to make this miracle that we could, in fact, forget it. Just forget it, and be friends again. I would be delighted. And I had some other words I was going to say. I'm drawing a bit of a blank because I got something on my mind I want to share with you. Because every morning, in the last few weeks, I started going to church again, and I started reading my Bible more, and I've been praying on my knees in the morning, and it works. God is real. You know this, I know this, but so many of us that are Christians, we kind of keep him in a closet until we need something. But when you don't need anything and you just talk to him every day, he really is delighted in that. And he really will bless your heart and bless you in ways that you didn't even see it coming. He even says in the Bible, put me to the test. So I make it a point not to put him in a box or only take him out when I need him. I'm trying to to read the Bible, and I try to spread the word on this channel and do these kinds of things. And before I read this, I wanted to tell you that a lot of people came in the comments in the beginning of this and were people that I care deeply for also, that encouraged me to send you those gloves back. That why have them tainted? Why, put them back, be done with him forever, show you're the bigger man. I've had them all say it in different ways. And I came to the conclusion that, I got plenty of money. I can go to a garage sale or Facebook. I can go down to Dick's Sporting Goods if I want to and buy.
That's a really good point about that cough. That dry cough could be the lisinopril. Yep, they could have put him on a low dose lisinopril. That's a good point. Thank you for saying that, Eunice. Yeah, he has recently had that dry cough come up. It's like a different one than usual. I mean, sometimes, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he's probably on 10 milligrams of lisinopril. Oh, absolutely. And Timmy's not going to say he's on any blood pressure medications. I know he was on one before, wasn't he? That's a good point. I like that one. Sorry.
Some tailor-made, but it's not going to make me any better of a hacker
side effect
than I already am. And I actually don't need any clubs because you gave me some clubs, some very nice clubs, and then additional clubs to go with it. And I greatly appreciate it. But there's been people that have said, be the bigger man and all that, but they just don't understand, like I do, of how these bad characters work. They're like lawyers that try to lead you into something and then trip you up. It's all trickery. Sending me coffee, sending me money to buy me a coffee fund, to make...
lawyers probably would have helped you with this upcoming court case, Tim. Because your legal defense is terrible. You don't actually have one. Because that AI-generated slop that you sent to the judge isn't going to fly in a courthouse. So you've literally left yourself without a defense. And you can't come with any surprises into court. So that's it. You locked yourself. I mean, you really are like, I guess he's just kind of, he doesn't understand how swift the garnishment process is in Virginia. And he doesn't understand that Florida has to uphold the laws of Virginia in this respect. There's like some type of like something that goes on with the states. So he's kind of he's in a predicament. It only takes 22 days after court. I think that's September the 4th. You're going to have fun Labor Day, Tim.
Usernames and are just kissing my butt up and down every day. Your channel is so great. You're so great. You're the best thing since sliced bread. They think that I'm stupid. And I was in the beginning. I let a few people, that are still out there.
Yeah.
That I just gave them the benefit of the...
Yeah, that's very common to have to change that lisinopril to another medication. It's one of the preferred sort of lower dose heart medications, the ACE inhibitors. But the side effect of the dry cough is often very prevalent. It's a known side effect.
Yeah, and they turn out to be devils. And this is why I have a...
We're going to have to
but you're a solid dude. You
down.
were real, okay? I'm not going to sit here and toot my own horn, but I hope you know, and I know you know. What am I saying? I hope you know. That I was extremely generous as well. There was a lot of reciprocation there. And you know this.
Oh, for God's sake, Tim. Oh, there was so much generosity and reciprocation. Not that I understand, Tim. Sounds like you got a free holiday out there, too. You bought, what, one meal, maybe? He's just so full of it. He's like highlighting all the things that he sucks at.
So I think it's tit for tat. It wasn't like you gave everything.
Tit for tat. Tim, how is this? The open letter to Johnny Vegas is just wild. I just cannot think the logic of this. And he's all, and part of it now is because because of the community, and even if it wasn't the community, he still wouldn't return them. It's just an excuse. So he's just shifting the blame to, reaction channels and stuff. That's it. I mean, it's like, because Tim can never take responsibility for anything. He's just out of control.
I gave too, because it was love. It was friendship.
Tim, you didn't know him long enough. You were people who were getting to know one another because you were out west and he wanted to have an opportunity, because you didn't seem to know a lot of people out there to, and probably wanted to have an opportunity to show the fun sides of Vegas, show his town off, where he's from. Maybe he's proud of where he's from, and he wanted to share that, get it on the channel, as far as just sharing nice things with you. You know, because some people are nice, and maybe he thought you seemed to be a decent guy, and you have things in common. Obviously not, Tim. Jesus, just a user. You are a user. You use people.
And so it's not a scorecard here, but I want to read you something now. And if it wasn't for even the bad characters, because God can take the things that were meant for your harm and make it for your good. If it wasn't for God putting it in my mind and reading comments about being the bigger man and sending it, the bigger man is to not send the clubs back and be done with you. The bigger man is to come on here and ask you for forgiveness of whatever I've done, because I've already forgiven you. And nothing would delight my life more, especially with some of the—
What have you forgiven him for? What has he needed to be forgiven for? I mean, I know what you think in your mind, that you're forgiving him for having brought shame onto you and highlighting that you're a thief who took off with his golf clubs. But to Jesus, Tim, he's the one who needs to forgive you for taking his property. The fact that you're talking about forgiving him, my God, who in the world? And the fact that there are people glazing him and sending him coffee money is just elevates and exacerbates this malignant narcissism, in my opinion, this person has. And that's okay. Like I said, I have the patience of Job at the moment. I'm counting days. The judge gave him the maximum amount of time to get himself to court, because he wanted to make sure that Tim would never be able to make an appeal on it, because he's going to slam the judgment. So he's basically locking Tim's appeal possibilities. And Tim's doing a good job on his own. And Tim was never going to get a WebEx, because there was a motion to compel evidence into the courtroom that day coming up. So Tim is supposed to, there's a motion to compel, and then the trial will happen. And Tim's going to fail on both. So he's really like, I mean, this is just, you know, it's just like, we just going to have to try. And Tim's going to go manic, like the most toxic positivity. He's going to be out there like dying in the heat, but he's going to be playing golf all the time, because he's just kind of shove it into Johnny's face constantly that he took his property, that he's on top, that he's winning, that he's just giving it to the haters. You know, it's like, no, Tim, we're just going to criticize you for stealing a heart transplant patient's property, and then I'm just going to turn around and sue you in court.
the things that are challenging in my life.
Because I'm going to take the justice that you should be served. And whether you're going to stand there and have it served in your face, I don't care. Doesn't bother me. Because all I care about is getting that judgment to YouTube, and getting that garnishment in place. That's it. Whether you show up in court, I don't care, because I'm going to win anyway, whether you're there or not. So, and no, JJ didn't do my case. You're going to be beat by a woman, you old hostile misogynist.
Life now, as we all have. Then to know I've got Johnny Vegas in my corner as my friend.
No, he's not in your corner, and he's not your friend.
Those intimate, personal conversations that we used to have on the phone, being such a good listener, and everything else that you brought to the table as my friend. To throw that all away over some puerile thing that I don't even remember what it was about now. And even
puerile thing, the thing is, you took somebody's golf clubs. And the fact that you seem to have some sort of delusion that you guys have currently some type of friendship is just not true. He is not your friend currently. There's nothing that you have demonstrated, Tim, that says you are worth it. He is not your friend, Tim. I promise you, in any shape or form. And I promise you, he's not Watch this video.
With this crap storm that's going on, that they're doing and cause you to come on and say those things, forget it. I'm not asking for an apology video. I'm not asking for anything. I'm doing the apologizing here. I'm just asking you to contact me personally. The email is there. You got my number. Dan's got my number. I had you blocked, just like I blocked a lot of other people. And I have also blocked a lot of people that came
Don't worry.
on.
We just had to block Stuart again.
That may have had good intentions, telling me to send you the golf clubs back. And this whole thing of seeing what they put you up to, you're going to say, well, they didn't put me up to anything. Well, you're making videos and you're sending it to someone and he's uploading them and he's uploading more stuff.
Well, it's because Johnny Vegas doesn't have a channel. And he and Jay obviously talk offline. And the comment was left on Jay's channel by Darling. And so Johnny responded by sending a video to Jay. It's that simple, Tim. It's not some great goddamn conspiracy. It's just that Johnny wanted to finally clear the story because there was so much confusion. Because you like to twist stories up, Tim. That we had video from the past where you said you had lent the clubs and we've heard the story and it all coincided with the exact same thing that I had heard from Johnny Vegas a year before. The exact same story he told on video. Nothing had changed. No wild embellishment and a bunch of stuff like you do, Tim. Nothing changed. A very succinct, clearly told sequence of events. Not your rambles like you have, Tim, which just show you are just a pathological liar.
Whatever he can, just because he's like a troll. I mean, literally, you can visualize it, on the keyboard and using.
He is so angry at Jay. Tim, you're a petty little thin-skinned individual. And you're getting about probably everything you deserve. As far as your character being examined a little bit closer. And I, like I said, I'm staying nice and calm because I'm 52 days to court. And soon it'll be 50. And it's just going to keep, next thing I know, I'm going to make sure I enjoy the summer. I'm not obsessing. But, obviously for me, I know what's happening and it's going to, Tim, as much as he wants to pretend like it doesn't exist, it's going to exist and he's going to have a narcissistic collapse once it happens, guys. So just wait. We haven't gotten to the best of this drama yet. Tim is going to be giving us the commentary of the summer.
His AI, he's got a one button thing. He just speaks into the microphone. Make a hate video to Sarasota Tim and use this and say this about this and turn this all around what he's saying right now. Twist it all up. Convince everybody. That's what AI can do. It can be very, very terrible. But we keep things real around here. We don't edit around here. But Johnny Vegas.
Yeah, and the resolution Johnny would like is for Tim to send him back the golf clubs. That's what he would like. But that's obviously not Tim's decision. For Tim, it's case closed. He's going to keep them. That's it. So Johnny is, obviously somebody who is more concerned about taking care of his heart transplant. You cannot travel when you're immunocompromised like that. The fact that he took something from somebody who had about the most complex transplant surgery of an organ possible and is still sitting here and his only thing that he cares about is what I'm saying or what JJ's saying or what anybody is saying on the internet. That's what he cares most about because he feels he would be losing, but he doesn't understand. In fact, this is losing. What he's doing at this all-time low, this is losing. Him keeping the clubs is not winning. It's winning in his mind because he's a malignant narcissist, in my opinion. But you're always going to be remembered as the man who stole a heart transplant patient's golf clubs, Tim. That's it. That's what you're known as. You're a thief. And as much as you want to say you're not, I don't care. And we have our own minds. We're not controlled by Johnny or JJ. Jay does what he wants to do. Johnny does what he wants to do. I do what I want to do. Nobody's controlled by anybody, Tim. See, that's the thing that you don't seem to understand. We all got free thought over here. The reason why it all matches up is because we all know you're a bad hombre.
I made you famous. You made me famous. I nicknamed you.
Tim, you're not anywhere near famous, okay? Promise you. From somebody who used to be married to somebody who is actually famous somewhere. You're not famous.
You gave me a lot of stuff. You helped me with my personal life in certain situations that I was going through and gave me solid advice, of which a lot of it I ignored at the time, some of it. You were extremely, I will never forget. Whether you want to...
They're important to him because Tim has to be on top. And Tim doesn't want to ever make the haters happy. See, for Tim, returning the clubs means that the haters won. That, us, But since we know you're never going to return them, Tim, we're going to talk about it. That's the way it goes. Them's the shakes on YouTube, Tim. And it's going to be forever, ever. And I can't believe that your kids wouldn't be embarrassed, or your grandson. I would be so embarrassed to know my peepaw took somebody's property as being this much of a jerk on the internet.
Be my friend or not, it's up to you.
He doesn't want to be a friend.
The good times is what I keep in my head. Even when I had bad relationships with women, I'm not one that really carries around and keeps my anger up because of what I think they did and how I was right and they were wrong.
That's not even true, Tim. Not from what I've heard. You're a vindictive SOB.
I always go back to remembering the good. And a lot of it, especially with relationships that I was in, and most recent one, it breaks my heart because of I yearn for those times again. I don't sit here and try to convince myself, yeah, but look what she said or he said or they did. I sit here and I go, yeah, but remember that good? Remember how you're happy? Remember how those moments were?
Sounds manipulative, Tim. Sounds like when you would probably do something really bad, like spend money shitting on something stupid like a sandrail, and then just like say to your spouse, like, do you remember when we did this and that and how fun and happy? Because it's all honeymoon period for this shallow individual. Just the honeymoon period. Once it gets real, he's out.
That's what I think about. So I'm referring to other things. I'm not trying to get mushy or anything, but let me just read you something that I got here. And it was from the Bible. It's very, very short. Okay. It's from the book of Colossians. It says, and this just reached out to me. I don't know whether it's going to hit your ears or not, but it did mine. You used to do these things when your life was still part of this world. But now is the time to get rid of anger, rage, malice behavior, slander, and dirty language. Don't lie to each other, for you have stripped off your old sinful nature and all its wicked deeds. Put on a new nature and be renewed as you learn to know your Creator and become like.
I mean, just the audacity. This is just like, if this isn't spiritual gaslighting, I don't know what is.
Him. And then there was one more verse that I was reading further down that third chapter of Colossians, and it just says, make allowance for each other's faults and forgive anyone who offends you. Remember, the Lord forgave you.
Where is Johnny's fault in this? Being kind and to a charlatan like you? I haven't understood. He saved you money on the rentals of clubs so that you could play multiple games out there in Vegas or Nevada, Laughlin, wherever you were at. You played a lot, Tim. If you had had to rent clubs, it would have exceeded the price of buying a set almost. And so to help you save money, because you're a cheap SOB, he lent you some clubs. And probably said, well, you can have them while you need them while you're out here. That's not, you taking off for somebody's property right after he gifted you some extra stuff. It's just so it's actually the amount of the worth of it goes into well over $3,000 probably on the money saved too. And then you have the audacity to come out here and read a Bible verse. You just have no shame. You are shameless, shameless.
So you must forgive others.
Oh my God. Forgive others. Okay, who's forgiving?
There it is. I know that the baiters out there that want to bait me in and get you to make more of these videos or whatever would love for their own clicks and things, use this no matter whose heart or feelings it hurts. They don't care. They don't care at all. You come.
I certainly don't care about you, Tim, but I do care about Johnny Vegas. How dare you take a heart transplant patient's stuff? You do that. Wicked. You're absolutely wicked. You're a wicked man, Sarasota Tim. I've worked at a heart hospital. I've worked with heart transplant patients, and I've known how sick they get and how stressful it is and how many drugs they have to be on. And just the level, and people were talking about him walking and stuff. Yeah, I've known them to do a lot of walking too. Patients with LVADs and all sorts of stuff. It's a way to keep the blood pumping. But, you know, that doesn't necessarily stop them from completely having difficulties, even as much as they're trying to pump their blood around their body. And Tim, for you to take somebody's property and then still try to twist it, that you think that he wants you to keep it, and this is JJ putting you up, just makes you look pathetic. It makes you look pathetic. And you are pathetic. I already know you're pathetic. I've read the trash that you sent to the judge and your lies about being on a fixed income. You are pathetic. You're a pathetic man.
Contact me. You think about it. You pray about it. And
he's not going to contact
whatever you said. I watched it once.
Yeah, you are evil, Tim. And he's not going to contact you. Nobody would want him to stress himself out speaking to you because you're manipulative. The only way to speak to him is by sending him back those golf clubs. It's the only way he wants to hear from you. Don't want to talk to you on the phone because you try to manipulate people because you're a fast talker. Half the time you just talk garbage like this garbage.
I've already forgotten it. I remembered a few things that were like, well, and then...
of course you've already forgotten it because you've decided you've already stolen his stuff. Gosh, it's just, I cannot with this person. If I have never been more irritated and upset with Sarasota Tim, it's over this. And this is somebody I'm suing in a courtroom for him channel striking me. But the fact that he's done this to somebody who's had a heart transplant just is an all-time new low. And then doing this just absolute garbage, twisted, malignant, narcissistic bullshit is even worse. You really are despicable. This is for your echo chamber of just some of them are just absolute trash. Just anybody in that comment section supporting you, in my ethical, moral opinion, and I can say whatever I want, this country free speech, they're trash. That's not defamation. That's just my opinion.
You see how I can end this? I just woke up saying I need to do this. And I'm keeping the clubs. I know you want me to have them.
One employee.
And because of, sending them back only gives these people a video. That's all it is, Johnny. You've seen them. You've known about them for a long time. Look how many there are. They live on my coattails. Now they're living on yours.
I don't live on anybody's coattails, Tim. I'm just trying to warn the public about bad actors like you on the internet, because most of the time you give out medical misinformation. This falls onto the other things that I'm interested in, and that's the psychiatry of people, because that's part of the manipulation and how people scam people on the internet. And you have no business, giving any type of advice out here. You're uneducated, you're unlicensed, and you're a charlatan. And you steal stuff from people.
Well, you'll get all...
Oh, I forgot. You're a malicious channel flagger, too. And you've made me so... Like I said, you make me so irritated in this video. And like I said, I'm taking you to court. So, I've been irritated by you because you struck my channel. But this particularly, Tim, just highlights just what an awful human being you are. In some ways, chef's kiss, Tim. Chef's kiss for coming out onto the internet and just telling us just what an awful human being you are. We already knew you're a terrible human being, but this is just like one of the cherries on the top, sir. And I've heard some... I actually know you're a worse human being than even this. So, there's some things that Tim is a shady SOB. He's got a bad past. Not a nice guy. That's not my opinion. That's a fact.
The recognition you ever had and want on the good side. just come back over to that side. If you decide, because they're going to try and read this transcript, change the words, they're going to contact you, the devil's going to try and rob this seed from your mind, and they're going to tell you, here's what he's really doing. Here's what he's really saying. He's not the person you think he is.
I also wonder if the dry cough is the lie tick too. So we haven't worked out, is it ACE inhibitor side effect, or is it the side effect for being a liar? Or is it both? But liar, absolutely all day. Why? Because I've spoken to Johnny Vegas. I know what Johnny Vegas wants to do. So all this stuff that Tim's trying to tell his audience, they don't actually know that we do speak to him in the background. We understand. He couldn't get his word out just through commentary channels because obviously people are going to, always throw suspicion. So Darling asked for them to just come out and clear the air. And Tim, it's great because Tim just shows that he's just one of the worst people on YouTube. So make sure to give me a like just so we can warn people about Sarasota Tim, because it helps me get up a little bit into the algorithm. Because like I said, Tim has strangled me in the algorithm. But it's not going to last long, guys. 52 days.
They're going to tell you everything. I already know it. But all I can do is what I can do.
Oh, yeah. You like some more compost.
I'll say one more thing. That this video,
even
though it will be viewed by both.
I know some people don't like to be called demons. I mean, it doesn't bother me what language Tim throws with all this religious hokey pokey. Because I'm just like, when it's coming from somebody with as little morality as Sarasota Tim, it falls on deaf ears. I'm like, that's probably why he doesn't get any impact. Because when he says anything religious, I'm laughing. I'm just like, really? This just absolutely parasitically terrible human being, just absolute leech. No, this is an all-time new low for Tim. I didn't think Tim could get any worse, but I mean, just the fact that he's been exposed and he just doubles down and he just is like so like he just like thinks it's gonna be to the haters. Well, Tim, I'm gonna hit it back to you. You're gonna get really, if you think that by keeping these golf clubs, I'm already gonna get you, Tim. I'm coming for you.
Sides of the fence,
or at least the judges,
will at least show both sides of the fence that this channel is real. This channel does what it does, and people try to change it and alter it and try to make it something it isn't. And now they just make up things. They used to take things and spin it, but I'm tough. And I can deal with it. Whatever they want to throw at me.
Somebody came into my comment section like, the kids weren't even getting off the bus. I was like, no, that's not how it works with a school bus. Just like, if that's your idea, then God, please don't be driving. Just like some of the stuff. Some of Tim's simps are just like struggling to cope. If they want to give this guy money, to make him smile and dance around, that's fine by me. Go ahead, Tim. I do this just because it's fun to watch you squirm.
And God's always got my back. God's got your back. Don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated. Then all of a sudden you're going to say, hey, guess what? Take a hike, devil. I see the light. I would much rather have the community and the Christian people and the good moral people that watch this channel talk to me, pray for me, and things like that, than these people that are just egging you on. Get him, get him, get him. This is not any kind of a defense video. I'm worried about something because there's nothing to worry about.
I'm sorry, I'm being naughty. Get him, get him, get him. No, it's him. He really is a paranoid person, isn't he? Well, Tim, I'm already getting you. So what are you concerned about? I've already got you coming to a court. Well, you're not coming because you're a coward. But I'm going to court and I'm going to win. Especially if you don't show up, because then I just go for the default judgment. I promise you that piece of paper you sent in is not going to be like, oh, hold on.
Would be so terrible in any situation. The worst thing that can happen is that it got out of control as it's starting to, and to lose.
Sorry, I lost my mic there for a second. I just saw that. I don't think the judge is going to think that Tim has a good legal defense. It's not going to be groundbreaking.
Good friend, that that would be a shame. That would be a loss. That would be a waste, because it doesn't need to happen. I don't need to lose one beautiful soul. And certainly with someone, and I've met, and I've got some beautiful souls that I confide in, some other gentlemen, several. And I value each one of them.
Fred, Teddy. I'm sad for any of the other subscribers that meet up with him. I just think they're contrarians who don't care if they get robbed.
A lot. In fact, there's so many today in my mind, I couldn't even give you an actual number. But
he tried to list off the names of his subs and he completely forgot Angel Mission. He probably leaves like 40 comments a day.
You know, it takes time to make a friend. Most people are acquaintances. It takes time, and you got to spend time with them and talks and conversations like we've done. So there's a foundation there, and you can't deny these memories. I mean, I looked at that video that I put up.
Oh yeah, whatever, Tim. And you look like you were being just like over the top and fake as hell. Gosh, I just don't understand how anybody finds him appealing. Makes my skin crawl.
Answering
it really does. I get so mad when I watch him. I find him so infuriating. I think it's because I'm taking him to court and I know how irritating it is. I think that's obviously part of it, and him hitting up my business and just knowing just how despicable he is, and just some of the things I've heard that I can't tell or talk about publicly because I just can't. And so knowing in the background some really awful things about this person that I can't share, and just, you know, and then the way he talks about just being holier than thou and better than everybody else, and such a contradiction to really who he is privately behind the doors. This man probably still drinking. I would put money on it. We've seen him coming out of bars in Key West. We've seen him looking toasty when he told that person to shove the coffee in their face, when he says he came out of a church that looked like he came out of a bar.
Video, and the sheer joy and happiness. And I remember that day at every meal we shared at the buffet and the other places and on the golf course. And those were good memories, man, especially when we were with the other pals. And
name them.
If being hurt by me caused you to convince some others that I won't name that we knew out there that called us and came over and wanted to play some golf and things, and they became your friend and defended you and all of that.
Oh yeah, and his abdomen has become very distended lately. I mean, like, it's not even like, I don't know, he's very distended of the abdomen, and that's something I look at with people who drink.
I forgive them too, because the information that people get is all they have to go on.
Yeah.
And I got all kinds of information too. But God is sending me a message, and the word, the Bible, which speaks to us, which is God's word, sent me a message. And that message is this message to you, Johnny. Happy Father's Day. Crush it.
Oh, God. With his crush it. Oh, my God. He just thinks he did something. 278 likes. 690 dislikes. Tim. And that's the people who bothered to come in to give you any type of engagement. A lot of us, we won't even give you engagement. Because likes or dislikes, that's really for the creators to know. Because YouTube just thinks of it as engagement. So some of us, my engagement is obviously watching his videos. That's enough engagement. So I get all these video things from YouTube asking me all the time, like, did you enjoy watching that video? And I give it 1 star. And it's like, did you regret or not regret watching the video? I was like, regret watching. They're trying to figure out probably why I watch so much Sarasota Tim content and still manage to dislike it every time. 67.1 thousand subscribers, guys. Tim is losing his subscribers. That is not the direction to go if you want 100K. Now, I am on the road to at least 10K. I'm going to try to put a banner at the bottom and make my screen look a little bit more exciting other than the Mooch Lodge Beach, where I can say how many subs I have, and we're on the road to 10K. If If I ever can get free from YouTube's stranglehold, you refuse to watch one. Yeah, they're not worth it, girl. They're terrible. Okay. Has he put out anything this evening? No, he just put out, this was 7 sloppy videos today. I mean, slop. Put this poor couple out. I can't even watch. Oh, look. So here's Johnny's. How do I get such a good picture of those golf clubs right there? How is it that possible that when I looked at that thing, I could see the golf clubs right there on the back of the golf court? I would like to see if Johnny can recognize his club heads. There they are. That's at least his bag. Tim. And I feel like it's just sort of like sticking it almost to his face, you know, like he's going to be golfing like every day and having a video with the title golf and just like trying to be like, nope, I'm winning. Golf, 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 my clubs, golf, 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 my clubs, I win. Ha ha. I mean, just look at it. Morning chat, he tells some ridiculous, oh, look at this. So he just absolutely annihilated a burger. Crushing it for Christ. I mean, soon after he did this open letter to Johnny Vegas, he rolls out with a crushing it for Christ. I mean, just tone deaf. And he just looks like he's a drunk with that red face. And then he talks about Fred, and then he burns some food, and then he decides to do this crushing it nonsense again. Okay, it's just the worst. Oh, well. So he wants to thank everybody for their support. All right, Tim, this is the last thing. And it's been like just driving to the golf course. I mean, he's just gonna just be this just this person.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim, coming to you from inside the Crusher, heading to the golf course. Go play some golf, baby, golf. Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, but you know, how much does Tim want to brag just to kind of feel like he's sticking it to the haters? I've heard from other people that YouTube's, and the thing is, if his money has gone up, he's not supposed to tell people to watch his ads all the way through. And of course, he's going to keep saying it, even though he's violating YouTube's terms of service. It's rules for thee and not for Tim. And he's really just thinks he's special. And I'm just going to ride his ass up until August. And then I'm going to really get to him.
Shoulders, all shoulders. We'll find out how it works.
And then hopefully that when I get the judgment to YouTube, the main thing is just to get my trust factors taken back and restored. And then the other thing is obviously for them to review his channel and, you know, see how he's used the DMCA system maliciously to attack other creators, which is, again, a violation of terms of service. This time it will have a human review. Hopefully the result of that is they decide to terminate his channel permanently and ban him. Because YouTube's now named in a lawsuit, not like as a party, but they're, you know, the weapon that was used to try to harm somebody else's business. And YouTube may not take to that too kindly. You know, a lot of these corporations are very risk averse. And they don't give a hoot if you're Sarasota Tim sitting over here like this. Like just the wildest old man on the platform.
If this doesn't work, I'm going to hang up my Spurs. I'm going to hang up my clubs. You can't believe a damn thing I say. I'm never going to quit golf. I love golf. And I am so glad that I started playing.
Well, he's got nothing going on in his life. And he's getting manic because he's getting sued. And he's got everybody like pointing out his faults. Now, he also likes it. Because, like I said, he put out 7 videos, most about golf. I mean, that is the sort of level of entitlement and arrogance and doubling down and gaslighting. I mean, just the malignant narcissism. And then this is definitely with a real heavy dose of antisocial personality disorder. He might even be more than on that spectrum than the narcissism spectrum, which is even scarier. And I've wondered about that sometimes. You know, I don't like to make the jump to that particular cluster B, that particular antisocial. But with Tim, it's like, you can't help it. And he was deviant as a kid, so it makes sense.
Yeah, now I know that
He stole the waitresses' tips and stuff and ran away from home. I mean, Tim did some really deviant stuff. So it's not surprising that he, most people, those kind of often, those childhood behaviors may be something that they, did at the time, but don't really carry into adulthood. I don't think they ever left him.
when the season starts again, the weather's really nice here, it's going to be very expensive. However, you can still get deals. You may not be able to play as often if you don't want to spend the money. And if you get your game in, get your swing down.
I mean, after that awful and knowing he took the clubs, he can just go out and roll and make a video like nothing, like he's like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. Like he's never at fault. That's not him. It's just the level of this entitlement and arrogance. It's just mind blowing. And as much as I find it irritating because of how he took advantage of somebody who was having a heart transplant procedure and is now with a heart transplant and the just all the complexities of that organ replacement, and this absolute garbage human being decides that he just doesn't want to return his property because he doesn't want the haters to win. Is just the most immature garbage that I think I've seen from somebody who purports to be an adult.
You're a pretty good golfer, then you might play and do it. At this point, I would never contemplate spending $50 or more to play golf. Now, if I was going to join some buddies and they, wanted to play,
we got people. Star Heel
$50 or $60, and it was just for a one-time thing.
You take care, Tar Heels. I'm sorry, gotta go, folks. Well, be safe in Minnesota. Have a good trip, Tar Heels, and let us know how it goes. Don't take any golf clubs.
Of course I would, but for me to book a round for $50 or $60, hell to the no. No. I mean, $40 would be a lot.
Did you just do that, Tim? And your audience just sent you a bunch of buy me a coffees. You're out of control.
No. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have that dry bacon. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
Oh my God. Tim has me so annoyed. I'm like eating chocolates tonight because I never do stuff like that. But I've reached that level of irritation. I have to have comfort chocolate this evening, which I never do. I'm usually very healthy.
For me. Why? It's not that I can't afford it. It's I don't want to pay that. And I'm by myself. If I was playing with friends, it'd be one thing. And right now I'm trying to just kind of get my swing in and get it going. Now I'm going to be a whole different guy if I get this.
I know.
I the shoulders last night. But that birdie 18, baby, that's definitely the one that keeps you coming back. So here we go again.
Get wild. You guys get wild. All right, this will be the last react. Tim's obviously just putting out. This is what we get, guys. This thing hanging out. Just look at his stealth. He looks terrible. He looks like his health is going backwards. I mean, he looks in really bad shape for somebody who purports to be constantly working out and going to the gym. He looks terrible. He looks dreadful.
The last few times I played here, I was very fortunate to play with some very nice gentlemen.
Junebug is hiding under my feet because it started raining really heavily. Oh no, my umbrella's open outside. Darn it. Oh, I hate that. Don't you hate doing that? You put your umbrella up because it's all hot in the patio, not realizing it's going to really rain because everything looked fine. Now it's all raining on my umbrella. Darn it. Oh, it needs to be washed. Darn it.
There was a threesome the first time and then a twosome they hooked me with. So we'll see what happens today. See that Corvette that just went by?
Yeah.
I didn't go to the
gym. Tim makes a choice to not be a good person. Tim has always been like, no, Tim was like a bad kid, man. I don't know, because like he said, he stole the waitress's tips to get the money to run away from home and stuff. I mean, that level of sort of like planning and deviance is like, whoa. Oh, it's really raining. Darn, I wish I hadn't opened up my umbrella. I had it closed, so I opened it up because it was hot and I was watering the plants outside. Darn it.
I didn't go walking. I didn't do anything. I've just been relaxing. I should have dropped an 800 milligram of ibuprofen for my muscles, aches, and pains. Maybe that's what I should have done. thought about.
Well, we just saw the bag on the back of the coat. That's why I kept highlighting the bag. And that's why I said, I wonder if we recognize the heads of the thing. No, the bag is still the same bag. Whether he pawned Johnny Vegas's expensive clubs and then picked up from like yard sales, because he talked about getting some clubs from like another person and just replaced them and stuck them into the thing and just kept the bag. I mean, so it didn't look like he had sold Johnny Vegas's golf clubs. So in that way, he kind of felt like, you know, who knows? Who knows with him? But the bag is definitely Johnny's that we saw from today.
About it.
Ah, it's
About
really
an hour or so
raining
ago, I
here.
forgot. I made some lunch. I ate already, and made a couple of videos already. Re-updated my apps. Apparently, there were some updates necessary. I was having like a freeze frame again with the video that I made this morning not uploading. So I got with AI, and AI recommended just delete YouTube, delete YouTube Studio, and then re-upload them. And sometimes that'll, do the trick, and it did. And there's also a couple of new features that I had to kind of get accustomed to. And I want to welcome back. You guys all know, it looks like a female name, but I think it's a male, Bella Holden. But it's Bella. You know Bella.
Now Tim's going to talk about his subscribers, which is great because he can't remember barely anybody's name. And it's just, Tim, God was trying to stop you from putting up more video slop. That's why you couldn't upload that stuff. That was God. That was God's glorious intervening there.
The red, white, and blue thing. Bella said that I'm going to call him and him, that he, turn this down, Baker, so people can hear you. Hey, this is Laughlin Ranch, Bullhead City, Arizona, baby.
Oh my God. How distracted are you in your thoughts? I mean, I can go off on a tangent. Don't get me wrong. But you were supposedly talking about your subscribers, and then you went off on your hat and more golf stuff and golfing out in Vegas or Laughlin, because you're just doubling down on being a wretched human being. All of this doesn't make you look good, Tim, and you know it. And you think you're sticking it to me? No. I just get to make content and talk about the fact you're a trashy person who stole something from a heart transplant patient. That's what, them's the shakes, Tim.
Bella said he was out for a while and hadn't been on the internet or whatever. His reasons were his own reasons. And I said, I remember it because, you always miss someone that's like an avid commenter, like Bubba, TRD.
Yeah. And listen, he misses out Angel Mission in this list. It's awesome. Tim struggles to name the 8 subs that actually do anything on his channel. It is literally the same people. Not that we don't have regular commenters, but I also get some like random people out of nowhere.
It's me, your Mama Tex, and Sharon, Deborah.
Who's Sharon and Deborah? I don't even know who Sharon and Deborah are.
Michael, St. Louis Scott, all of them. See, these are the ones.
You just made up a couple there.
Because I recognize them because they wear you out. They comment on
Angel Mission leaves like 3 or 4 comments a day to one video, Tim, and you didn't even mention her. Luckily, she's such a simp and a pick-me, she won't care that you didn't mention her. She's going to have to leave you 10 comments tomorrow in the hopes that you'll remember her next time.
everything. God bless you guys for being such good commenters. Well, here is something that Bella told me to pass on. So it's not just me asking, but it is. And Bella told me. Bella said that his subscription was unsubscribed from my channel.
I know. You can't remember who sent him like a nice pair of sunglasses.
So there's definitely no hater, no troll. Nobody's got control over your YouTube channel that you created with your username so you can comment on videos or upload videos to your own channel. You have to have a YouTube.
Yeah, Tim's too good to walk a golf course. He thinks he's going to have to roll it in style in the cart. He's going to get too tired. He's got to preserve that energy for those dynamic swings.
Channel to comment. And if you follow certain channels that you like to watch, you can either just type their channel name in, or you can subscribe, follow, doesn't cost anything, their channel, and you can be notified if there's a new video. You see a little blue or red or some kind of dot indicating there's a new video you can watch. But even if you don't follow, like, let me know as soon as.
Oh yeah, Tim's definitely also cheating on the diet, and he could be cheating on the diet with booze too. So he's definitely cheating. Tim is not. Tim can't hide what we can see on camera. He really can't. He looks like he's putting on weight. Actually, we haven't heard him say he's been on the scales recently.
She uploads. If you're not like that,
tomorrow he'll be 198 pounds. And I say that because anytime I say anything, Tim comes back with some type of rebuttal. Tim, you're 5'7". That's what the process server said. I have the evidence. It's written down paper, sir. It's another reason why you're too much of a coward to come to court, because I would probably dwarf you in my height. So not only you would be short, you'd be losing. And those are probably two things that you cannot deal with as a narcissist, the malignant narcissist, really, with probably more on the antisocial personality disorder spectrum, in my opinion, allegedly. I don't treat or diagnose.
But you just want the shortcut to following a channel that you like, you subscribe. And I know this is like mundane for people that understand it, but it isn't, because I'm going to ask you for two things. One, for people that don't know what subscribe is, it doesn't mean you pay money. It means follow. It just means, following my channel.
That's what the process server said. Tim likes to say he's 5'10", but the process server put him down at like 5'7". Didn't make him tall at all. He put him down as short. And, Tim might have a little bit of that Napoleon complex.
So hit that button if you're watching my channel. There's no reason that you need to type in Sarasota Tim every time to find me. And besides that, when you do that, it brings up anything that's got Sarasota Tim written in it. And what happens? We've got a lot of people writing my coattails that don't have any content of their own, none, but they write Sarasota Tim in their title. So it tricks you into clicking onto their video, and you watch it, and it's awful. It's some awful thing. And you're like, wow, what is this? This is not Sarasota Tim I know.
Oh, no, I was going to do a drop of something in there. For some reason, I can't get to all my stuff. I was going to put like 2 hours later. This guy stinks. Let me see if I can do that. Hold on.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah.
What's this about? Well, it's too late then. You've already gave him a click and help. So go and subscribe to my channel. Now, part 2. All you out there that know all about, you're techie as hell. You know all about subscribers, following, commenting, liking, thumbs up, whatever. You're an expert. Well, guess what you're not an expert at? You're not an expert if you're not aware of checking that if you are unsubscribed.
Well, Tim, that's not going to get you back over to 67.2. I know you saw your numbers drop, sir. And people unsubscribe. The rain is wild out here. My poor umbrella. I'm going to have to get a new umbrella at this rate. I have like just one of those ones that goes outside for the patio. It's getting trounced by this rain, guys. It's like I usually don't have it open. Anyway, I'm thinking too much. I actually care about my property that's old. Tim doesn't care. Oh my goodness, Tim, you go.
You have to check and see if
that's right. Tim's scared because he's losing subscribers.
You've been unsubscribed from my channel or other channel. The phone's getting ready to shut off in the heat. It's 106 degrees out there. It says 96. Can't believe the damn thing I say. Please, folks, please do me this favor.
Tim, you cannot be saying you can't believe a thing you say and then come out and try to get people to believe what you say. I'm going to go with the former.
Should have said S. Favors. Subscribe. Check that you're not unsubscribed. Subscribe. Yes, because of some drama crap in the last few days. So the haters unsubscribe.
I need to get that thing back to Home Depot. I probably have the receipt somewhere. I only bought it like 8 years ago. No, maybe it was about 5 or 6 years ago. It was a nice one too. I usually have it closed up and hidden so it doesn't get all wet. But I opened up the umbrella because it was very hot today. And I should always remember, if it's hot in Virginia Beach, it's going to rain at night. I should know by now.
Make it look like, and maybe they were influenced.
Shoot, now you can probably hear the lightning. Yeah, Junebug doesn't like the lightning. It's okay, sweetie. Tell you, all hell's breaking loose here in Virginia Beach, guys.
Maybe they did influence a few people that like me, that, you know, went to the other side. They want to go around in the mud. You do you. But I've got a very faithful community that is never going to be. But sometimes, like Bella, found yourself unsubscribed.
Bella found themselves unsubscribed. Maybe they unsubscribed at one point, and who knows, Tim? Tim is obsessed.
Please, check it. I make money on YouTube through the ads, not subscriptions, not people that are following me. I could have 1,000 followers instead of 67,000 and still make the same amount of money if people watch the ads. So watch the commercials. That's not a command. That's not an order. That's a request. I'm just kidding around with you.
Well, you can't request that, Tim, on YouTube. That's a violation of YouTube's terms of service, sir. You're not supposed to say to people, watch my this, that, and the other. You're not supposed to say that. Anyway. I'm trying to figure out why my StreamYard's not rolling up stuff, but who knows? Who cares?
But if you can, watch the commercials instead of skipping them
me get to my
a
media
little longer.
Stuff.
It's really made a big difference in my AdSense revenue. Hey, today's payday. It's a good one, too. So watch the commercials. Check that you're subscribed right now. If you're watching this video.
Tim, nobody thinks anybody should be getting what? Just keep your earnings quiet. Gosh.
Check to make sure you are.
If I was talking, my earnings, I would be called a braggart. It would not fly as I don't know how it flies for him.
Subscribe. Watch the commercials. Use the Amazon link for all your shopping needs if you're an Amazon shopper. It's right there on the front page of my channel. You click on that. It takes you somewhere. Ignore that. You start typing into the search bar what you want to buy and buy it. It doesn't cost you anything extra by using my link, but I get paid. Small pennies, but if 67,000 beautiful souls did it, it adds up. And
Tim, I think you need to stop trying to shill out that Amazon link.
A lot of you do that already, but it always falls off if I don't mention it. So yes, this is a request, an infomercial. Yeah, it's not e-begging. That's what they like to say.
Send me the rubies, guys. I think that's if I'm vertical streaming though. But I got some rubies last time. And last night I had free rubies to actually give away to one of my streamers on my mobile phone. So I was watching a stream on the TV, but sometimes I look on my mobile device and I looked up the supers and the gifts and I saw that I had 1,000 rubies that I could just gift without paying. So I just gave the guy 1,000 rubies because it didn't cost me anything and I didn't really care. Who am I saving them for? Because they may not always show up. I think it's random. I don't know. Because I looked at another live today and obviously, not gifted. Nothing there. So I think it was the first time I ever noticed that. By hitting the little dollar sign and then it said something about these rubies. It's this new thing that I think YouTube is trying to become like TikTok and have all these gifts. But they literally gave it to me for free. So if you want to give me some free rubies, I appreciate it. I'm hip like the kids.
Asking for your support. Now, the people that are using the Buy Me a Coffee, that are literally reaching in their pocket, giving me a tip, that is over and above and beyond.
I'm sure his insurance company would love to see him rolling past that school bus that was stopped with the flashing lights and the stop sign out. I'm sure his insurance guys would be impressed with that one. Funny story. I went through a yellow. It was going from green to yellow. And I guess I made the decision to go through the yellow rather than to use that as the sign to stop. I used that as the sign to go. Little did I know, right beside me, who stopped at the yellow light was my insurance agent who called me right at that moment and said, "Hey, I saw you blow that yellow light." I was like, oh, you did. That's the true story. Because I actually still have an insurance agent. But yeah. So it does happen.
Anything. That is like the highest you can go. And pretty much everybody I mentioned have all done it. And have all done it at least once or more times. And you,
I don't think even 60,000 tune in. I'm sure that it's probably 1,000, maybe 2 that follow Tim religiously, and then the rest is probably hate watch. Probably most of the people watching that video about Johnny Vegas's golf clubs are people who do not like Tim and just want to know what the drama is. So, or just heard about it. But probably most of it are people that aren't Tim's fans. But that's okay. Tim is okay because he'll take the money. And we saw how many dislikes, so we know he gets ratioed all the time.
You are extremely appreciated for doing that. That's it. But it actually adds up to more.
Give me a rich
when you watch the commercials. Here we are. Watch the commercials. Use the Amazon link.
How can you have 2,000 views and 10 comments? It's just how's that possible? Here he is, River Run Golf Links. He's got to show us, because remember, we told him we didn't see him actually playing. So now he's got to show us that he's going to come out and play with the stolen clubs.
You subscribe. That doesn't make any money, but what using the subscribe is going to do is I'm 7 years on YouTube. I'm trying to get to the 100,000 subscribers and get the play button. I want it. I'm an ambitious person. It doesn't put any money in my pocket. It is totally.
Yeah, we know you're an ambitious person, Tim. You're so ambitious that you've taken somebody's property in order for you to play golf to make content. You're just a petty son of a... Ugh. I just can't believe this, man. But it's last react, guys.
Total bragging rights. It is something that every YouTube content creator absolutely displays in the background of every video they make, pretty much, because it shows that you're an achiever.
Tim, you produce video slop. The only thing that you have achieved is becoming one of the biggest lolcows on this platform. That's your achievement. You are officially a lolcow. You have hit full lolcow status. And once you've done that, so and you can crossed over that line on YouTube, there's no coming back. The likelihood of any person wanting to follow you, Tim, other than for hate watch, is probably pretty rare now. Or they're just people who aren't aware. There's one young guy who's been glazing Tim a lot. I'm just like, some of these people just glaze it because they just want to glaze an old man.
You've got 100,000 people subscribe to your channel. That doesn't mean 100,000 people watch the videos.
Well, we know that.
But 100,000 subscribed. What do we got going on here? Big bus bringing in a bunch of... hopefully that's with the ball field over there.
Oh, for goodness sake, Tim, why are you worried? He always complains if he thinks something else is going to, hamper just it being for him. Oh, I don't want all these people there. It's supposed to be for me.
Well, we got a few people here parked. Not too bad. There's still plenty of parking if you want to come on down and tee off. But anyway, folks.
Oh, Tim, I thought you weren't trying to invite people to be anywhere near you. You trying to get a brand deal with this golf club? Not going to fly.
Why I'm screaming.
You're screaming because you're an angry, irritated, sort of curmudgeon-y old man.
But you would be doing Sarasota Tim a great favor. I'm going to pull up to this guy a little closer.
I mean, just how much of a lolcow can this man be? This is wild. This is getting to like foodie beauty levels of just like trolling, hater hating. I only thought I saw this sort of petty like stuff in girl world, man. Tim is like being like petty about his community and the haters. And I mean, for gosh, really? Oh, Junebug, you're okay, sweetheart. She's getting very stressed. I have to remember to try to get hold of the vet to get her some medication for the 4th of July. I need to call the vets and get her some type of doggy trazodone or something because she's generally very stressed on the 4th of July. So I never get to go out because she really suffers. And we have so many fireworks here at the oceanfront. So I get a glass of wine for me and some type of controlled narcotic for her.
If you did those things for me, thank you very, very much for listening. Let's get out here and play some golf now. Hopefully I'll do good. I've got this with me. I've got some microphones. I've got some other stuff.
Stolen golf clubs.
Let's get out there and crush it.
Ugh, horrible human being. What has he got here? It's just every video now. Tim ratioed 239 dislikes, more than double than his likes. 31 comments. Talking about the commercials. This person, Vincent. Have fun. I mean, this guy, this young man. Tim, you need to get one of those nets. You can hit balls. Like, really? Oh, this one. This has got to be one of the, he's so desperate to be relevant, so we're not going to make him. And then Bella here. Yes, check your subscriptions occasionally. This happens, some kind of a Google issue. Oh, gosh. Seems like your issue. Look at all this. Slight detox on social media. Missed all the drama, but thankfully I'm back in time to support Tim. It's truly a shame to see people we trusted just become as misguided as the trolls. Listen to this idiot, pardon my French, who, that's just my opinion. I don't really know you, so don't defame me. It's truly a shame. Misguided as the trolls who feed on hate. Tim is doing the right thing by giving this up to God. Oh, get the out of here. So he will be fine. Praying those involved. Oh, you know what? God thinks you're all trash. How about that? God gave me a call a minute ago, and on my phone over here, because I'm, sitting in the Bible Belt over here in Virginia. And he told me that he thinks you're all like trash for supporting that on a man who had a heart transplant. You really think that garbage that Tim said about God and this, really? You're trash. You are trash. I pray somebody can get these folks some sanity for following this. Really? They want to support this human being? I mean, have at it. I mean, obviously if he wound up in a hospital, but I mean, he has, there we go. There's the stolen golf clubs, guys. This is just, I couldn't even bear with that. He started talking. I skipped to the end. I was like, okay, that was it. And then he's just going on about golf. And then he says he's going to go work out. I won't even bore you with this. And he complains that the parking lot is too full. That's what he does. He complains the parking lot is too full. I mean, I just can't, of course, yeah, the positive comments are there. Yeah, and of course they're all saying that, put it in God's hands, Tim. Put it in God's hands. Well, God's also maybe working through the trolls, hey? I pray so. Yeah, Fred, I hope so too. Well, they've known him long enough. You would think they would know that he's just absolutely, yeah, these people are beezers. They are the beezers. And Tim is just like, the way he's talking, he's like, he could be Foodie's grandpa. Fruity's dad. He could be Foodie's dad. Oh, I just can't. Fred, they never watch. I don't know. I think they watch it with Tim. Probably some golfing stuff. I don't know if they watch Tim's terrible videos. If they're sane, they probably don't. I just can't believe he's talking about golf grips. I'm glad these videos had no views. I'm so glad that this was, after the hit, that this one had the first one, the Crushing It for Christ this morning, because he put out one, or was that from yesterday? No, this was today's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos. A Crushing It for Christ. I can't. We're not even going to play that because it's just out of control. A thing about fishing. Then obviously, we saw that one. Then he's, we get, him doxing 2 people who don't need to be dragged into your drama, Tim. And Johnny Vegas's golf bag with potentially his golf clubs. So we don't know if those are just some ones you picked up at a yard sale, and you've actually pawned his. And so, because it's interesting, you know, and so maybe that's why you can't return them, because you wouldn't actually be returning his clubs. You'd just be returning his bag, because his clubs actually had value. So you pawn those things, and then you got some dirt cheap other stuff, which is why you say they don't look like they've been taken care of. Which is, if you're borrowing something from somebody, why wouldn't you take care of it either? And then he's just got these 518 views, 396, 688. We love it for you, Tim. It's just slop. It doesn't deserve a view. I'm glad nobody's watching it. Nobody cares. Keep putting out stuff about your golf, Tim. I love it. You know why? Because when you put out your golf stuff, nobody watches it. So I suggest your content should be golf videos, you talking about your golf and crushing it for Christ from here on out until August. How about that? That will really help your channel out. Let's let him drink the creamer. Yeah. Have you looked at, oh gosh. No, those creamers are terrible. He has cellulitis? Oh my gosh. Well, he certainly has liolitis. I know that's an old one, but Tim has liolitis. He has a severe case of the liolitis. And that's going to be my contribution. All right, guys. The rain is getting out of control. It's time for us all to probably say goodnight. My 4 umbrellas. This is a wild storm, guys. I mean, we got lightning, thunder, the whole shebang. Liaritis. That's it. Liaritis. Ah, that's what he has. He has a severe case of it. And I don't think he has flatheaditis. Well, it was such a pleasure to have everybody here tonight. Thank you for the support. If you haven't had a chance to hit the likes on the way out, do so, because it helps then people find this video later on the replay. And I appreciate it, because it just keeps the word getting out there. And thank you so much for Sammy and Catherine for being here to moderate. I know we got one troll come on in. And Angel, I think that we are always thinking of you. I know you've been having to take care of a little bit things with your health, but we are thinking of you. And whenever you feel like you want to chip back in, just let us know. We're always happy to see you. But Angel of Glass is always here in spirit, whether they are here moderating or not. And yeah, thank you guys. I know that was a wild ride from Timmy. Okay, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. You're here. Oh, there you are. Yay. I thought I saw you. How are you feeling? Okay. Thank you, Angel. That's okay. I always say that you're here in spirit, and you're here. It was here for a wee bit. I might have been on the other page. Sorry about that, Angel, if I didn't catch you earlier. You're feeling better? Oh, good. Well, I'm sorry if I didn't catch you earlier in the chat. Sometimes I don't get to see the chats when we got moderators, because I'm obviously tripping over to Sarasota Tim. Thank you, sweetheart. You always know I'm thinking of my mods. And I appreciate you guys. And like I said, the weather out here is crazy. Junebug is absolutely petrified and like shaking and hanging out behind my chair. Roscoe doesn't give 2 hoots and is lying on his back with his legs up in the air, because Roscoe is a back sleeper. Roscoe loves to sleep on his back with his belly fully exposed and his legs up in the air. And Roscoe is not bothered by noise. So he doesn't care about storms, fireworks, bangs. Like, he is great around noise. Like, he does not care. Junebug, complete opposite. She suffers. So, oh, you're healthiest. He's as healthy as Chantel. Oh, oh my God. Tim is looking rough. And we'll just keep reminding him he's headed to trial. Well, I am. And he's supposed to be there. And we haven't forgotten about the golf clubs. So you keep talking about the golf game, and we'll keep talking about how you stole from a heart transplant patient, Tim. How about them apples? All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Life and Vibe, thanks so much. My queen, my Sarasota Tim expert.